Give him the old Dicktwist.
Welcome to Dicktwist.
Guess what? I started recording.
I know, I saw.
Oh god.
Oh,
Everyone's levels
I
are.
saw that little red line.
All right. I have no idea if it's gonna sound good or bad, but hopefully it'll sound not bad.
Don't you have headphones in? You can like hear it.
Yeah, but these aren't like studio headphones. They're not noise canceling. They're not anything professional.
Just
They're
gamer
for
headphones?
gaming.
Yo,
And even then, it's like again not noise canceling, so they're not even the best for gaming.
you got the like gamer podcast outfit on today too.
You do.
You got like the Nintendo baseball tee and jeans.
Stop it. Okay. Welcome to the podcast.
Welcome to Dicktwist.
What is the name of the podcast?
SneetCast. You
Dicktwist.
made the doc.
The doc that we're not using.
Whatever.
Oh yeah, that's true. We made that doc. Okay, whatever.
Cause
It doesn't matter. It's
Okay.
fine.
Welcome to SneetCast. Someone explain it.
what? Explain what?
Explain
What
what? It's a podcast.
is?
We're gonna talk about whatever the fuck we did this week, and also video games, I guess.
Thank you
Video
for explaining
games.
it, Ryan.
Yes.
All right. Good job. You're the
problem.
host.
But what
I
about
am.
You got
I wanna
promoted.
be
Hi,
the
I'm
host.
Ryan. I'm the host
what
of
about
Dicktwist.
movies and television and
Well, yeah,
other
that-
things that we enjoy? that
Anime
aren't
and mango?
necessarily-
That too.
Oy.
That too. Yes. Yes.
I knew a girl named Anime.
Stop.
That's a good joke. That's a good joke.
Um. So yeah, I guess we'll do intros. I'm running it now. I'm running it. I'm
Well, yeah, you.
at a Dicktwist.
I'm okay if
I
you run
wanted
it. I
to
don't
run
care.
it.
Too
Head of
late,
Dicktwist.
buddy. I'm already
Episode
twisting
1.
the
Everyone
dick over
fights over
here.
who's the host of the podcast that we just started.
Yeah, it's me. Hi, I'm Ryan. This is my basement. It's orange and blue.
They can't.
This is audio. There's no basement.
Yeah, I'm setting up the scene.
It's so funny because if people didn't know who we are and they looked around at your basement, they'll just go, "Why the fuck do they have dolphins everywhere?"
Cause in here,
Not
No-
not dolphins.
Not even
the
the real
animal.
dolphins.
The Miami Dolphins
There are a
football
couple- There
team.
are
Yeah.
a couple dolphins, like animal dolphins.
Yeah, they
Yeah,
are.
yeah, but when Brian says a
Dan
basement
Marino
filled with
summoned them in
dolphins,
the
I
picture.
imagine these like old grandma ceramic like things or something.
I don't know. We're surrounded by from
Live dolphins.
1972 to 1973, the greatest team in football that I don't even like.
That's only 1 year. That's not very long for being the
No,
greatest.
but they
team
won
in
the Super Bowl
football.
twice in a
champions.
row. They were champs.
Oh, did they run it in 72 and then
You
again in
Yes.
obviously
73?
haven't seen Ace Ventura: Pet
Yeah,
Detective.
they're the only ones that
Oh.
ever did that. I think. I don't know.
The
Anyway,
entire room is turquoise.
yes,
We are in football hell.
We are
Yes.
underwater.
yes. Yeah.
Let it be noted that none of us live in Florida,
Oh.
including your dad is not from Florida, but painted this basement to look like the Miami Dolphins, and there's giant framed pictures everywhere.
Literally on the way back, we were playing tennis earlier. On the way back, my dad is like, "Hey Ryan, let's buy a condo in Florida, just so we can be down there and watch the Dolphins." And I was
my
like,
God.
maybe when I'm done paying off my loans."
That's kind of cute, to be honest.
Yeah, he said that or a house. So anyway, intros. I'm Ryan.
Okay, yeah.
I'm Ryan. I'm a programmer. I like video games and movies. And anime
Yeah, I was
and,
gonna
and
say,
manga.
you watch more anime than any of us.
Yeah, it is
Degenerate.
You're also a furry.
It's not true. It's
Yeah.
not true.
You watched like both of the new.
I'm the
furry
one
anime?
editing the podcast, so
Can-
I can just tell you. I can just edit that out if you say not true. We can just end it at Chef saying you're a furry and
No,
move
don't
on.
do
Nope.
that.
You should.
No.
It's only funny if he
We're
doesn't
done
like it.
if we're doing that. No.
Okay. Okay. Next intro. You go.
All right, I'm Brian, amateur filmmaker, I guess. I know a lot about. I'm like the guy doing all the technical sides of this podcast.
He's the one making the podcast.
Yeah.
We're just fucking around.
Yeah, everyone else
He
is
is
just
the
like.
podcaster.
I
We're
just-
the
Everyone came to me and
podcasties.
they're like, "How do we make a podcast?" I'm like, "Well, we gotta have this, and this." And they're like, "So you can do that, right?" And I'm like, yeah, I guess I can." And they're like, "All right, we're making a podcast. You get all the stuff." And
Also,
I didn't mind it because I also wanted to do the podcast, but like,
I just cursed. We're gonna do that in this podcast.
I think we're gonna put in brackets explicit for like every episode just to like warn people.
Yeah.
Parental content advisory. Is that what it
18
says?
plus.
The
oh,
first
and
Parental
SFW.
content.
The first thing in this recording is
Dicktwist.
Dicktwist.
Oh yeah.
That
That
name of
could've
this
been one of
episode
our
is gonna be,
names.
hold on.
Richard Twist.
Do you realize
Our
that the
friend
name
Richard
of
Twist.
episode 1 of our podcast is going to be Welcome to Dicktwist?
I'm fine with that.
God damn it.
Okay.
Who said it? Because I was talking about it.
It was
before
definitely
the-
you.
You
No,
said Dicktwist,
I
but
think-
I said welcome to Dicktwist.
I think
Yeah.
it started with Chef saying Dick Twist. Also, Chef, introduce
I
yourself.
began. Well, you
Well, he was doing this hand thing, trying to figure
Yeah, I
out
was doing
turning
All
righty
right.
tighty lefty loosey, and
and you're sitting closest to Brian, so you're next in the
yeah.
in the
Oh, okay,
circle.
okay. My name is Parker. I guess I'm also a programmer. I don't know for how long. I am for now. I'm into. We're all into the same stuff. Like we're into.
Yeah, at varying degrees.
Like all into movies,
I think
anime, comics,
I
whatever.
think the most important thing
Video
is
games.
we have 2 people here that know how to program and are working to become game designers. That's Parker and Ryan.
Well, maybe.
Maybe, yeah.
We'd like to.
We're making a game. It's gonna happen.
Yeah, when we're
Yeah.
70.
I'm the one that I don't program. I'm into film, but I wanted to become a game designer when I was younger. But I moved to film because I had more of a passion for
Doesn't
that.
every
You got
video
hit
game
with a
and then-
case of adulthood in college. You were smacked with that.
I was smacked with the I hate this programming
Yeah.
crap. I don't think making video games is as fun as playing video games. I now know that. Let's move to film. And
I
then
made a game.
and then we have the 4th member.
Yeah.
Dungeon Man.
What?
I made a game.
You did.
Have you made a game,
Yeah.
Ryan?
I made like
Chef, you need to
10
introduce
small games.
yourself
I made
before you
tiny
start
games.
explaining how
Chef,
you made
Chef,
a game.
introduce yourself.
All right. I'm Chef. I'm not a programmer, but I made a game. I don't know what I'm going to school for. Like, I don't know, man. I'd like to be a writer one day, I guess.
You have written a bunch of short stories before and all that.
I wouldn't say a bunch, but I have.
More than the rest of us.
This is
More
true.
than me, and I have to write in order to make the short films that I've made.
You're right in the game.
That's true.
I think that we can summarize this by we are 4 people who are passionate about media arts and would like to participate in them, but have had no success yet because we're too young and also just consume a lot of it.
But we will
Yeah.
100% succeed because we are white men.
Yes.
Oh my god.
That's a
This is true.
statement. That's a statement if
No.
I ever heard one.
We are set up to not fail. This is true.
Oh god.
So anyway, the whole reason why we made this podcast is just because we want to discuss the things that we love in both the video game industry and related industries like film and TV, cartoons, anime, whatever. This is just 4 chuckle fucks talking about nerd shit. That is the TLDR version
Yeah.
of what this podcast is about.
Welcome to the Super Best Friend Cast.
Oh, well, there's our influences, I guess. That's. May they rest in peace.
They're not dead.
The group is
cast
dead.
is dead.
The-
Yeah, but-
they broke up.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean like they're doing fine. All of them.
All right. Well, let's not talk about other
Yeah.
podcasts. People are gonna be like, "Oh, a video game podcast. This will be fun," and then they're like, "What the hell are they talking about? What's dick twisting?"
I think it's pretty self-explanatory.
Yeah, I mean,
What I'm excited about with this is that it's gonna be the most casual thing ever. Where technically we made it to discuss like video game news and like topics related to video games, what we're playing. We'll review video games on the podcast, but we're totally gonna go off topic all the time, and it's just gonna be 4 of us joking around, laughing about whatever we want, and that's like the part I'm excited about.
Yep.
So anyway,
spitting the shit, twisting the dick.
all right, so we got the intros out of the
There's
way.
no follow-up to that.
End the episode here. We're good. That was it.
That was it.
Dick
Have a
Twist.
separate intro episode, and then we'll.
Welcome to Dick Twist.
So we got Brian with a B, Ryan with an R, and hopefully people will just figure out who is who when they're
We should-
talking.
you know,
Well, it'll be
We
alright.
we like spoke a lot of
Chef with
shit
an
there.
S.
Real quick, just for one more safe time, should we each one at a time say our name?
Yeah, let's just go in a
Yeah,
circle.
this is probably like we're gonna look back on this first episode and we're gonna be like, oh my god, this is horrible.
Yeah,
but-
it is.
Well, yeah.
But it's
Assuming
already
there will
horrible.
be
Yeah.
other
Who
episodes.
cares?
But
We didn't
we,
settle
we're
this up
we're
in
gonna
the
learn as we go along. But yeah, like officially, like to let the audience know, I'm Brian.
I'm Ryan.
I'm Chef.
I'm Parker. And we are Dick
And
Twist.
I'm pretty sure everyone heard Parker's saying we are Dicktwist louder than his name, and that's my fault. I'm both participating in said podcast, and I'm also like the audio engineer, and I'm messing up so badly because I'm not used to this.
It's okay. We support you.
Why don't we just like have Tyler come in and then he can mess with the audio like under the table there, and then you can just focus.
Why
on
would
Tyler, our ghost fifth member.
Yeah.
yeah.
Well, the thing is, I feel like
Brian went to school for this, and you're gonna tell Tyler to do it.
well, Tyler also went to school for
audio
it.
stuff.
He just dropped
Oh, yeah, I
out
guess
because
he
he
did.
was having success like already. So, shout
Screw
outs
that
to Tyler
successful
Ritter of Another Day Dawns. Listen to them on Spotify.
Yeah.
They have 2 EPs out.
Their one song just hit over 250K listens instead of
Support
views.
the local scene.
Tyler
Yeah.
Ritter also made our theme song, which we haven't listened to yet,
Yeah,
but
wait.
it's
We don't
definitely
have
in the
the
intro.
intro.
It's definitely in the intro.
Okay. Back to focus. Should we start going through like what we've been up to lately?
Yeah.
Who wants to go first?
Parker, you go first because you brought it up.
I want to go last. Okay.
I can go.
Parker's
I don't
full of
care.
Dick twisting.
No. Yeah.
I'll just go. I don't
Yeah. Ryan, you go first.
All right, Ryan, how many dicks
What
have
you
you
been
twisted?
up to?
Only one.
Who's yours or someone else's?
What?
You said only one dick. Whose? Yours or someone else's? Who's been twisting? Who's been getting the twist?
I'll let you
Who's
sit
been
on that.
receiving?
You
Ryan's
sit on what?
twist.
So I'll let you sit on that, Dick.
I'm not sitting on anything. You go.
Never mind. Yeah. So I've been playing a lot of stuff, watching some stuff. Most recent, yeah, stuff.
Descriptive.
Yeah. I watched all of season 1 of Sailor Moon recently.
I had no idea you were watching
You didn't
that.
know that?
That's news to me.
I mean, yeah, I put it.
What made you want to watch Sailor Moon?
I
Actually,
just heard it was good.
You just heard it was good.
Yeah, that was literally it. I heard it was good, and I was like, I
That-
saw stuff.
That's not even what it was. You just
Oh
said,
yeah,
you
I was
just
like,
said,
oh, that
I
couple
wonder...
looked cute. I was like,
No,
oh,
no, that's not what it was. We were sitting here and you were like, I'd like to watch Sailor Moon sometime, but it's not on Verve. And I was like, it's on Hulu. And you went, oh, I'm gonna add it, and then started watching it the next day. That's
yeah,
what
that's
it
right.
was.
Well, I just mean like what made me want to watch it at all was just I heard it was decent. But
Yeah.
what made me go and watch it was because it was on Hulu.
And to be clear, you're talking about like the
Oh
original,
yeah, the
series.
original one, not Crystal or whatever. Which I heard Crystal was bad. Apparently,
Is
it's
that the
not.
2011 one?
Yeah, right. I was talking to our other
Our
friend
other
about
buddy.
it. Yeah,
Our weeb friend.
yeah,
Creepy weeb friend. We're
Yeah.
gonna refer to him as that from now on.
Creepy weeb friend.
Yeah.
yeah.
Also a furry,
I won't.
just like Ryan.
That's not true.
Ain't nothing wrong with it.
Oh God, it's gonna get worse because I'm gonna talk about the other show I watched.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Oh yeah.
Beastars?
Nope, the other
No,
furry
the
anime.
Oh
other
my
one.
god, how many
Beastars
furry
old news.
animes do you watch, Ryan?
2, and that was it.
We can find more.
That's
You're
too
proud
enough.
of that.
There's a whole furry section of One Piece.
Those are rookie numbers, kid. You gotta get those numbers up.
That's okay. Anyway, so yeah, Sailor Moon season 1 is pretty good. I mean, it's a lot of like, it's completely Monster of the Week stuff. It's just every episode, it's just the villains have this new like stupid plan to like trick the sailors into like coming and fighting them and whatever, and then they have the fight and use the same attack animation every single time. But it's like fine because it's like funny and the animation's pretty good for the most part when it's like not the same stuff they're doing over again.
Are you watching the sub or the dub?
I was watching the dub because they redubbed it.
Oh, okay.
Because I was like, again,
In this dub, are they cousins?
no one's anything yet.
Because yeah, maybe we should.
But I don't-
You know more about that because I don't know the characters' names. Explain that.
I don't know which characters it is yet.
Okay, but there's a thing in for anyone who doesn't know, if you know Sailor Moon, you probably know about this. But the what in the original English dub, 2 of the characters, who I guess in the show are implied to be in some kind of lesbian relationship.
Oh, you know what? I remember. Because Riley sent all shit. Our friends sent all these clips the other day in our chat,
Thank you,
and
friend.
one of them was the clip where they're like, "Oh, those cousins," and it's 2 characters that I'd never seen before, and I don't know if they're like main
It's 2 of
characters
the
or anything.
sailors.
Maybe they weren't like hanging out with the other sailors at the time, so unless it was their
I'm pretty
intros
sure-
or
well,
something.
But what it is 2 of the sailor, or I think 2 of the characters in that show. Me speaking about the show I've never watched.
Yeah. I was-
Are implied to be to have some kind of lesbian relationship, and in the American original American dub to try and squeeze that out. They were like, oh, they're cousins, but cousins who like cuddle. I guess.
Yeah, well, the clip is like they're holding hands and like walking down the street, and then you have all the sailors like looking at them and like oh, they're so close, and then the one, I think it's Sailor Mercury, is like, oh wow, they sure are close cousins, like really fast during the dub, which is funny. But yeah, show's good. It's got good music. All the characters are pretty fun, interesting. I kind of want to talk about a spoiler thing.
Because how old is Sailor Moon? Like, is that okay
like
that we
30
do that?
years old or something.
Oh, I don't want to. I feel like for the most part we can be pretty free with spoilers as long as we say like, hey,
yeah,
spoiler about this thing that's 30 years old.
Yeah, quick spoiler warning for
my
Sailor
opinion.
Moon.
You shouldn't spoil something if it's currently in theaters and if it's a video game or like something on streaming.
I mean, if we mark it, it's fine. Like
if
if
I
we're
just
like
say
at
right
the end
now.
of the podcast, spoilers about new movie, whatever.
Oh,
Talk
we
about
can
it,
do
yeah.
that.
Anyway,
But Sailor Moon.
Yeah, so like for the first season's 46 episodes. It's split up in seasons on Hulu. I don't know if it was when it originally aired or whatever. But anyway, the first season is 46 episodes, and for like the first 45, I think one character dies, and it's like a villain. So it's like, okay, whatever. Or two characters die, and they're both villains. But then you get to the second to last episode of the season, and literally every single sailor except for Moon fucking eats it super
Oh my
hard.
God, really?
Yes, every single one in one episode get fucking murked on the spot.
Do you think they're gonna get brought back or
Oh,
something?
they already are where I'm at. Like
Oh.
the last episode is literally just like, oh, everything's fixed, but all their minds are wiped, and I'm like, okay,
Oh.
whatever. But yeah, I was like not ready for that. Where it's just all these like heroic sacrifices, and they're just fucking dead in the ice.
Do you know about This made me think of that. Have you ever heard of the sitcom that was made by the Jim Henson Company called
The dinosaur.
Dinosaurs? Do you guys know about that?
I
I
know
don't
exactly
know.
what you're talking
Dinosaurs, the like this sounds like something your mom would like, honestly. Made by the Jim Henson Company.
Jim
It's
Henson.
like animatronic dinosaur sitcom, and it's
about.
very
They canceled George Lopez.
Did it?
Yeah, George Lopez hates that show.
Oh, okay.
But it's just a sitcom with animatronic dinosaurs, and it's like every other sitcom, like Family Show, whatever. And then for the finale. The finale is the extinction of all dinosaurs, and all of the characters, including the baby, die in the last episode. It's like horribly sad, and it's so weird.
Well, it's a whole climate change message, isn't it? It's just
Yeah,
like,
it's a
oh, we're
message
getting to
about
an ice age. It's like, sorry, kids, nothing we can do. Like,
But like,
change the Earth.
yeah.
This is
God.
my final message.
So, okay, what else did you do, Ryan, recently besides Sailor
What
Moon?
else? I guess if I'm just talking about stuff I watched, I also watched BNA, or Brand New Animal.
Is that what it stands for?
Not
Yes.
balls and ass.
No, it's not.
Somebody asked me what it stood for yesterday, and I said Boku no Academia.
And then I said Boku no ass.
Good. Just my ass. Oh my god. Oh my god. Anyway,
What if instead of believe it, Naruto said Boku no ass?
you just looked at villains and went, my ass. Talk no Jutsu would be pretty interesting then.
What is BNA?
Yeah, okay, so
We've been
BNA
joking
is
for
a
so long. I don't even know what this thing is that we're joking
it's
about.
another series where there's a bunch of animal people. They're called Beastmen in this one, and it's basically like people that they have human forms, but they can like do a quick transformation, and then they're like in their animal form or whatever, and they're all super like, oh god, I don't want to say this, like normal quote unquote humans just hate them for the most part, so they're all in one city basically. So at the beginning of the series is the main character getting to the city, and then figuring out what.
I don't know why. I thought the series was about basketball.
Yeah, you said that yesterday when we were talking
I
about
thought it
it.
was about
There's literally
like furries
one
playing
there,
basketball.
there are two scenes where the main character holds a basketball. That's it.
I literally thought it was like Beastars crossed with Slam Dunk or something.
No.
Basketball no ass. Basketball's
My-
ass.
My basketball ass.
But you're watching it because it's Trigger, right? Trigger
Yeah,
Studio.
I mean the
And
story's whatever,
So
but
they're like, is
the
this
action's good.
have they made anything since Kill la Kill?
Yeah, Yeah.
besides
Oh my
it?
god. Yeah, they made
I know, that was a
SSSS
stupid movie.
Gridman,
Oh yeah, I want to watch Gridman.
and also Darling in the Franxx was Trigger, I think. Yeah, I think
Yeah,
so.
Legendary Animated
The
Studio.
only Trigger thing I've seen is Kill la Kill, which I love.
Yeah.
Like top 5 anime for me. But I've always wanted to watch Gurren Lagann, and I've always wanted to watch Promare.
Oh, Promare's.
Yeah,
Oh yeah,
Promare's
I love
on the
Promare.
list because we never. Yeah.
Yeah,
I
and-
saw it in theaters.
Yeah, I had.
Oh,
Class.
wow. Okay.
The weeb saw it in theaters. Wow.
Yeah.
No weeb.
I'm no weeb.
Is there anything else you want to talk about, Ryan?
Games.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I think that's all I've been watching recently. I can't really think of anything else off the top of my head. But I've been playing a couple things. I started The Last of Us 2, got like a couple
too.
hours in, and have stopped for a bit.
I was playing it literally earlier today.
Oh.
Which I still probably haven't gotten to where you did because I only played for like an hour. But
Yeah. Yeah, for anyone that has played the game or knows, I got to the first day in, what is the city's name? It's been a bit. Seattle,
bro.
yeah.
It's
It's been like 2
Seattle.
weeks since I played it.
You know, like it's actually like a pretty accurate representation of Seattle.
That doesn't surprise me that
Like,
much.
like
that's the
there
exact
is-
kind of thing that it sounds
there-
like they would like.
They have a
recreate.
convention center that's in there that you can go into, and it's like legit the same exact convention center that you can go to in Seattle. And people have like commented saying like, "Oh, I actually went to like a comic convention in this building that's in The Last of Us."
So weird thing about that. So Last of Us is filled with all these little like touches like that, like
Yeah.
really over the top details. And I find that shit cool in a lot of like I'm a huge fan of the Yakuza games, and the same thing in those games where it's like you can go to those locations in Japan and be like, I was sitting my roommate at college once playing one, and he's like looking at it, and cause he was in Japan the summer before, and he was like, bro, I've been to this restaurant, and I was like, yeah, but I think because The Last of Us already has that like negative connotation around it, where they're like the director Neil Druckmann seems kind of like full of
Very
himself
up his own ass.
and stuff like that. So because of that stuff that I see, when I see the cool touches in Last of Us, I like roll my eyes a little bit because I'm like, yes, like I don't know, because
I'm not gonna blame every single little thing on Neil Druckmann.
No,
I feel like
that's
that is
not
the
what I'm
most
saying at
It's not
all.
even a
fair
blame on him thing. It's just like a.
that's not what I guess what I'm trying to say is like, to me, like I like the other games for other reasons, and then when they do the cool little touches like that, it's like a bonus on top. Whereas this game, I feel like a lot of those cool touches are in the forefront, and I'm like, okay, give me to the.
I feel like we're gonna
I
talk
guess.
about The Last of Us Part 2 a lot later.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well, when
we're
Ryan
all
and I
done with
finish
it, we can.
Yeah, and definitely like in a
Spoiler cast
I was
it, I
gonna
guess.
say in a future podcast episode when like, oh, is Chef ever gonna play it?
No.
that is like
Okay.
anti-chef game. Are you kidding me?
Yeah, what the-
So
There's
that
no-
me, Parker,
There's no
and
aliens
Ryan,
in it.
me, Parker, and Ryan will
No, there are a
do
lot
a
of cutscenes
episode.
in it, and that's what makes an anti-chef game.
Yeah.
Chef's favorite game is Pong. No cutscenes in that. You said you were playing other stuff too, right, Ryan?
Yeah, other stuff that I've been like getting through. First I started Hades,
Ooh,
which is Hades is a game that's in early access right
We
now.
have a Discord server where all our friends are on, and I never muted the Hades Discord server, but I
Yeah.
get so many notifications. Okay, because you're distracting me. No, the creaking isn't gonna be heard. There's people. We're in the basement right now.
Yep.
Future Brian, cut
We're
this
in the,
out.
We're in the Dolphin Cove.
Cut this out. Anyway, what was I saying about?
You were just saying about how we've
Oh
been
yeah,
talking about Hades.
we're
a
on the
lot.
Discord server, and I didn't mute the section where it's the Hades chat, and I get so many notifications from the Hades chat. I feel like I know a lot about that game just from lurking in that chat, hearing all of our friends
yeah.
talk
You
about
should
it.
play it.
Yeah, you should play it.
I muted it immediately because I was like, I'm going to play this one day, not now. I don't need to talk, but of course, talk about it now.
That's fair. Yeah.
Very, very quick. I would love to play it. It's just that's what's the name of the studio?
Supergiant.
Yeah, I want to play Supergiant's other two games before.
That
I go
is
to
exactly
Hades.
what I was thinking
Yeah.
because I own Bastion and Transistor, and I'm like, I feel like I should play these before I buy a third game
Yeah,
from
I
the
don't.
studio.
I don't own Transistor, but I do own Bastion, and I played like 20 minutes of it, and then I turned it off because it was back like I don't know, middle school or like freshman year of high school, and there was a summer sale, and I literally bought like 20 to 30 different games. Like I was going on a shopping spree,
Yeah.
and Bastion was just one of the games I bought, and I've always been interested in it, but there's too many games to play and not enough time to play all of them.
They also made a Pyre. That was because they had 4 games. The 4
Yes,
big games.
Pyre's also pretty good.
Oh, I
It's
hear
not as good
people
as the
talk
other
about
ones, but-
Pyre all the time. I didn't know they made it.
Yeah, Pyre's cool.
What's-
It's
what the-
very different.
What is Pyre?
Is it soccer?
Yes, it's like half
it's
visual
soccer?
novel. It's half visual novel and half like kind of sort of soccer thing. It's very hard to describe unless you're looking at it, but it's
I
cool.
might not
I've
have
seen
played
it and have no.
Huh?
I've literally seen it and been like, I have no idea what this is.
Well, it's not like yeah, it's weird. It's like I can't even describe it.
It's their only game
weird.
that didn't like take off super hard, isn't it?
Yeah, I don't think it was like,
It's like their-
unpopular, but
but
it's
I thought
not
it
as
was, like,
big
their
as like
least successful.
Transistor Bastion. Yeah, it's definitely their least
Which
successful
kind of
game.
sucks. That's
Yeah. I mean, it's cool.
I say that having no intention to play it.
Yeah. Anyway, Hades. Hades is a really cool roguelike where you play as the son of Hades, Zagreus.
Oh, I thought you played as Hades.
No,
I didn't know you played the son of Hades.
Hades is trying to keep you in hell.
He's a
And
real bastard.
He is. And he
Wait,
makes
is it called Hell or is it just the underworld?
It's the
it's
underworld.
the underworld.
Okay.
But because we're Americans, we'll call it hell.
Yeah.
Yeah. Christian ruled nation.
We'll get to Christian stuff later.
Uh,
I don't even know what you're talking
Ryan,
about.
Ryan,
'Cause you-
Ryan went to church this week,
I
and
did.
he's gonna tell us his experience.
Yep.
he's gonna pray on podcast.
We're gonna lure all the people in with video games and anime, and then we're like, by the way, let's talk about Jesus for a little bit.
Oh,
Did you know this podcast is sponsored by Butch Hartman?
I was gonna say we're gonna pull a Butch Hartman.
Butch Hartman.
Anyway,
He's a butch at heart.
yeah.
Not a sponsor. Don't lie. Can we get in trouble for that?
I don't know.
No.
Anyway, Hades. I got like
Only they're both lawyers.
Ryan desperately wants to talk
I
about
know,
Hades.
I know.
Go.
So yeah, you play as the son of Hades, Zagreus, who's this like, I wouldn't call him edgy. He's just kind of like.
Wait, quick question. Is this a real character in mythology, or did they
That's-
make it up for the game?
Oh, great question. I don't
I
know.
looked him up. He's like a very minor character who is of unsure origin. In
That's-
that means
you
you
know
can do
what?
whatever you want
That's
with
it.
him.
That's
So,
perfect.
yeah.
No, to be honest, yeah, that's actually really cool
Yeah.
because that means they can take this character that is technically part of the mythology, just nothing with him. There's like nothing going on with him that's interesting, and the game studio can just make him interesting in their own unique way.
But like the only thing I can find is that he's kind of related to the underworld and Hades. So
There
Oh,
you go.
It's
is it not
close
even
enough.
like is it not even in mythology that's he's his son, or are you?
I don't know.
You don't have a whole dictionary of Greek mythology in your brain?
Yes, it's Greek.
I
Yes, it's
panicked
Greek.
for a second.
I own one, but
The
he's
new
not
God
in
of
that
War
book.
made you
What?
confused. New God of War made you confused.
Yeah, exactly. Is Kratos in Greek mythology? Is that real? Is
No.
that real? Like, is Kratos a real god or is he one of the fake ones?
Is he a real god or the Christian god?
They used to pray to Kratos.
Oh.
Wait, for real, Kratos isn't a real
No.
character. in
No,
mythology,
are you
yeah.
kidding me?
No, like I was gonna say no, he's not. But then, like as I said, I was like, wait, if I'm wrong, I'm gonna look really stupid.
You know,
Yeah, they kept it
And
accurate.
now, and
you
now
know,
I
they had
look
a crossover.
stupid because I had
Well,
to
you
ask
know-
the question.
you know-
Now everyone thinks like, woo.
in 1980, there was an actual red plumber in New York named Mario
Stop.
who
Okay.
fought a giant monkey
You
on
said-
some steel beams.
You said in 1980, did this long pause. I didn't know where you were gonna go with it, and then and now I regret it.
Then he
Long
went in the
pause to
sewers and
take a
fought,
huge
fought
Ryan
an alligator.
desperately wants to talk about this
I've
new
gotten
game
no
that he's
farther than I
interested in.
started like 5 minutes ago.
That's his fault.
Uh,
I asked a relevant question.
He
You guys
did.
ran with
He
it.
did.
Go.
So you're playing as Zagreus, and you are trying to get out of the underworld because you want to go find your mama, because she escaped the underworld. And what's her name? Persephone? Is
Yeah.
it? Yeah.
Wait, is she the god of love?
No, that's
No,
Aphrodite.
Aphrodite.
Oh, but she
Aphrodite's in the game.
what is?
Aphrodite.
Persephone's just like a lady, isn't she?
No, she's a god
Oh, she is?
of like fertility,
Oh.
Dude,
Alright.
I
Makes
love
sense.
Greek mythology.
but also
That's
like
cool.
kind of death, because she's associated with the underworld because of Hades.
Oh.
And,
Is she
like,
kind of
got a
like,
little
is
long
she
like
kind of
kidnapped
like
or
the one
something? I
at the
don't know.
gate where she's basically like, You know how St. Peter's at the gate in heaven and Christian with...
No.
Oh,
I don't
okay.
know what you're talking about.
I'm just guessing.
You're talking to the wrong crowd if you want to make obscure
Yeah.
Christian references.
I mean, like, I know what you're talking. Like, the closest character in Greek mythology to that is like Charon, the boatman.
Yeah, I guess Charon would be
I was
pretty
not
close.
expecting this podcast to have Dicktwist at the beginning and Christianity in the middle.
Every podcast episode is going to start with, like, the
Dicktwist?
most inappropriate joke that is just the most, like, equivalent to frat boy humor, and then we're going to get very philosophical and existential later on.
Yeah.
So, Hades.
Yeah. So that's the setup, and then the basic gameplay is the gameplay is closer to Bastion than anything else I can think of off the top of my head, where it's like semi top down view. It's like on an angle.
Isometric.
Yeah, isometric, and fight demons on the way out of the underworld. Fight different bosses and everything like that. You go there's 4 floors in the game that you have to fight through. So you start at the first one, and you're like starting out at the beginning of the game because it's a roguelike. You're most likely gonna die on the first floor, and then you go back to the starting area. But what's cool about Hades, as opposed to other roguelikes, like if you ever played The Binding of Isaac, every run is like a dry run where it's
Yeah.
you just start from the very beginning. Everything is reset completely.
Literally 0 on you, 3 hearts, and that's it.
Yeah, Hades is a little different. It's actually a couple modern roguelikes do something similar. Like Dead Cells does kind of the same thing, where as you go through and meet characters and stuff, dialogue changes a little bit. You know, you can start with certain items if you want, shit like that. Hades is cool because there's like a shit ton of dialogue in the game. Because every time you die and come back, it's just like the story keeps going. It's just like a loop.
Everyone
it's just
constantly tells me, whenever Hades is brought up, I feel like everyone has the same opinion of, oh my god, this game has so much dialogue
There's
in it.
so much dialogue. They had like 3,000 some
Which
new
is
lines.
great.
In the
You
first
say
update.
that's a positive that there's so much dialogue?
Well, yeah,
'cause
No,
because
yeah, it's
it's
impressive, I would say.
extremely replayable thing, and all that new dialogue comes up all the time.
Yeah.
So it's not like, oh, I have to go over here and listen to these people talk.
yeah, you can also just ignore it completely. That's the other thing too. It's not like
Just mash through it. Yeah.
yeah, well, you don't even need to really talk to anyone going through.
That's true.
Like
Well,
that's what I mean.
when
Like
you get,
some people.
gods to give you boons and
Yeah,
stuff.
that's true. That's true.
What?
It's like upgrades and
What is it called?
Boons.
Boon?
Boons.
Boon.
yeah,
Huh.
not a racial slur.
Sounds
Oh
like
my
it.
God.
Well,
Oh,
that's because
God.
it sounds like
No?
Oh, no.
Stop.
Oh,
put in like a
Any,
censor sound.
you have more to say about Hades, or is that it?
oh yeah. Well, I was just gonna say like the amount of dialogue in the game is like staggering. There is so much, and it's so neat. Like I have like 25-ish hours in the game right now. I don't think I've gotten a single piece of repeating dialogue, except for maybe from like Skelly or something. But that's it. Every other character like constantly has something new to say every time you go back. It's like so impressive. It just makes it feel so like, I don't want to say real, but it just makes it feel like a real story where it's like real narrative and characters every time we go through. It's very cool. Like it even applies to bosses, because the first floor, the end boss, is always one of 3 different sisters called the Furies, and even when you go into the boss room, new things to say to them every single time, and they have dialogue talking back to you and
a
everything.
new variation of murder.
Yeah. But yeah, it's insanely impressive, and it plays great too. You have 6 different weapons. Yeah, it's only 6.
Mm-hmm.
There's 6 different weapons you can pick from, like a sword, spear, shield, gun.
Gun?
Yeah, there's a gun.
There's a gun.
There's a gun?
The gun, and
I-
it's like squeaks.
What does it
Yeah.
shoot?
Energy.
Okay.
I guess.
Isn't there a gun and there's also a crossbow, or am I just
There's a
wrong?
bow. There's not a crossbow though.
Yeah.
But yeah,
They have extremely different play styles.
yeah.
I'm also assuming from what I've seen of other Supergiant games that this game is gorgeous.
It's pretty. Yeah.
Like,
Everything looks nice. I like a lot of the
It
enemy
has a cool
designs.
visual style too.
Yeah.
it's not on
Like
its...
the gods have great designs.
Yeah, all the art for the gods and stuff when you talk to them is really nice.
Is it still in early access?
It's gonna be in early access till later this year. They were like, the next big update is
1.0.
1.0. Yeah.
All right, cool.
Yeah. The last one they added a shop and a whole other like secret boss fight you can get and everything. It's wild. Supergiant, such a good studio. They just always make bangers every single time.
All right, I'm gonna be totally honest. I think we should just move on to the next person.
Okay.
Which you said a lot.
Yeah.
I think everyone.
He didn't get to talk about Blasphemous.
I know that's the game I'm gonna beat
Yeah.
today. So
Let him talk about
But do you want to talk about?
sure. How long have I been
I'll-
going for?
We've been going on for 35 minutes so far.
Oh, we got time.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Okay.
What are you going to talk about, Brian?
Yeah, I was like,
Yeah,
there's
none
not
of
even-
us have to edit
Having
this.
slicked back
None of
hair?
us have to edit this. We can go for 5 hours. I don't
Yeah.
care.
Oh, okay.
It's your,
All right.
your,
Good
your
fuck
I guess
fault.
I'm
movie boy.
losing sleep.
Yeah, and the last thing I've been playing is Blasphemous.
That's blasphemous, not The Last of Us.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Brian.
Oh my god. Okay.
Yeah, Brian.
Brian misheard yesterday, and it caused some funny confusion.
Yeah.
Right now, even I when you said blasphemous, I knew it was blasphemous, but I still heard like it sounds like Last of Us. I'm not crazy.
It's because you got headphones on.
Yeah.
What?
Anyway, Blasphemous is a 2D Metroidvania style pixel art game.
You go around and you burn Bibles.
No, you don't. It's
This
the
is
opposite of
funny,
that.
Because I'm also going to talk about a Metroidvania.
Oh yeah,
I
because you're
thought-
playing Axiom.
I thought you were gonna say I'm also gonna talk about burning Bibles.
Yeah.
Well, I could.
You
if
can also
will.
talk about Deep Rock. And...
Yeah.
But blasphemous. Like
Blasphemous.
what's
Yeah, so Blasphemous you play as the penitent one. I'm not sure what that word means.
Penitent?
Penitent, yeah.
I don't know what
I
it
mean-
means either.
Yeah, I was gonna say
I
like I guess.
assume it's related to like.
penance?
Yeah, but I forget what
Yeah,
penance
that's what
means.
I was thinking.
What's-
It definitely
what's
sounds
penance
like
mean? Is
a
it
religious
penance?
word.
Oh, like you're. Okay, I get it. I get the idea
Have you
then.
ever read Ghost Rider?
No.
He has
Oh,
a
he's the penance
stare.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
Oh yeah.
Anyway, he plays the penitent one. You're like the game starts and it's just like an unbelievable amount of dead corpses of your friends around you, like friends, whatever, around you. Like you're literally walking through just an ocean of bodies with the same like cone head thing that you have
I
on.
think he looks like Pyramid Head. Almost. Just the cone head thing made me think
I
that.
guess so.
He's like shirtless too, isn't he?
No,
No? Okay,
No,
then
he's
I made
not.
that part up.
yeah,
In my
Yeah.
head, he's shirtless.
penitent one fighting shirtless in the rain. But yeah, so it is the 2D. It's a 2D Metroidvania, but it is the closest game.
Say the thing.
I know
Say
I'm
the
gonna
thing.
say it because it's like it's the 2D game that's the closest to being like a Souls-like, pretty much.
It's the
It's
Dark
the
Souls
Dark
of
Souls.
Metroidvania.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, it's the
Met-
Dark Souls of Metroidvanias.
Metrovania?
Metroidvania. Listen, you don't have to listen. I speak through my teeth, not my lips.
Plugway.
Anyway, because yeah, the whole game is like it's set up like a Souls-like, because every Souls game starts with, okay, you have to go here, fight these bosses, and like do two things. Dark Souls 1 starts, you have to ring 2 bells. Dark Souls 2 starts, you have to kill 4 gods, so you can sidestep a tiny pillar on the ground you can't jump over. Dark Souls 3 is you have to fight the Lords of Cinder. This game, it's you have to fight 3 certain bosses and get the, I don't even remember. It's some
The Bible?
no. You have to get like the
The Bible?
3 humiliations or something they're called. I don't know, whatever. It's all this like old Christian like repent shit that I don't know, whatever. But beautiful pixel art. Absolutely gorgeous game. So many cool looking enemies in it, so much good looking background art and everything.
Beautiful gore.
Honestly, yeah. Like it looks really nice.
That's so funny. Only in video games can we say that gore looks
That is exactly
beautiful.
how I would describe the Resident Evil 2 remake.
Yeah, that's
Beautiful
true.
gore.
Yeah. But yeah, I'm almost at the end. I think I have the final boss left, and that's it. But yeah, like it's cool. It's got some neat abilities you can find. Everything is super esoteric, which is very Souls-like. Like in most Metroidvanias, you just fight a boss to get upgrades and stuff. In this game, you have to do like an obscure side quest to get the ability to like make this certain kind of vines come down so you can get extra stuff.
Wait, very quick. You said you're beating the game tonight, right?
Yeah, that's my plan. Yeah.
Okay.
So,
How long have you played so far? Like how much
I
do you
think
think?
Steam said like 12 hours.
It's not
12
bad.
hours.
That's not bad.
Yeah, especially
So,
since I like didn't
15-hour
do
game.
everything. Like there's all these little angel cherubs in cages that you can free, and I only like half of them.
Is that like typical? I've never played a Metroidvania
Yeah, we were
from
talking about
beginning to end. I've started a couple.
Well, Super Metroid. If
It's like 20
if it's your
hours.
first time, Super Metroid.
I'd say it's like 20
Metroid is like 10,
Oh, I would have said
First
10.
time.
Your first time, I thought it would have been 10. to
and
be
then I would
honest.
say 10 for first time and 4 to 6 if you know the game. But
People
coming from again someone who's never played it to the end, I don't know.
Well, I mean, if you know the game, you can speedrun it crazy fast. That's
No,
how
no.
Metroid
I
games
think
are.
like
But
if you know how wall jumps work in Super Metroid, you can actually beat the game in literally like just like
But
2 hours.
I was
Yeah.
just wondering what's typical because all I've seen recently is I know that Hollow Knight is like really long.
yeah, I was gonna say it's like it totally depends on the game because like I was thinking of Hollow Knight, which
and like
So you're saying there's not like a typical length?
Hollow Knight. I think I played for 50 hours and didn't even do everything.
and
But
This game, I'm like at 12 and I'm done. Like,
Okay.
you know, the
In
Metroidvanias are so like same thing with like Symphony of the Night. If you want to do everything in that game, it can
I was
be,
gonna
like,
say something in that.
well, too bad I said it first. It can be like I don't know, like 25 hours ish. Maybe if you do like everything, even the inverted castle.
Yeah, like I was gonna say, like that sounds about right if you include the inverted castle.
And like Bloodstained, I played,
Bloodstained
like,
shorter.
It definitely is because I think I only have like 16ish hours in it. I don't know. But anyway, Blasphemous. A lot of cool bosses. Very different designs from everything else because it draws from like Christian lore and
telling me
everything.
about blindfolded baby
Yeah.
and scorpion extension.
I've seen the blindfolded baby because that game was shown off
creepy.
at E3 like years ago.
Oh, yeah, it's a
and
couple
I
years old.
remember the blindfolded baby because I went, wow, that's fucked up. When I saw it, I
I'm
was
sorry,
like,
wait, which game are we talking about? What?
Blasphemous.
Blasphemous.
Still.
Okay.
There's a
If
big
the-
blindfolded baby. Doesn't
We're
like
talking about Super Metroid.
yeah yeah.
The baby. That's what everyone
Samus
thinks
kills
when they say
Big
the
Baby.
baby.
The baby.
Yeah. No, but the baby has like a command grab and will rip you in half.
Oh my god. One of the phrases I did not think was gonna come up today was the baby has a command grab.
It does. It fucked me
We
up.
need it. If we didn't already have a title,
If we Welcome to Dicktwist is definitely the title, but damn, that would have been.
we could make it "Welcome to Dicktwist: the baby has a command grab."
Yeah. Welcome to Dicktwist. Don't get caught in the baby's command grab.
I would just put it in the YouTube description or in SoundCloud. I think you can put descriptions. We could just say disclaimer: the baby has a command grab.
Yeah. But no, it has a command
Watch
grab
out.
and it literally picks you up and just rips you in half.
Yeah, I've seen that, and it's
Yeah, I was
ugh.
like, good. But yeah, I mean, the art on the baby's amazing, and it looks amazing when it rips you in half. Like, the game is really pretty.
I'll never get over how funny that is that we can praise how good violence looks in games.
It does.
I,
But like,
Especially
no, yeah, like
recently.
there is actually like nothing wrong with it. It's not real violence. It's
Yeah.
zeros and ones, baby.
It's all fake.
Is there anything else you want to say about your week, or should we move to the next person?
I don't think I did anything else, but I played tennis today and went to work.
All right, move it to Chef. What have you
I
been
wanna
up to
go
lately?
next.
Well, I'm making you go next.
That means you don't
You
get to
were
go
We're going
last.
next.
counterclockwise, bro. That
no,
means
I'm gonna
you
go
next.
to him, and then him, and then him, and then me.
Bullshit, we're going in a circle.
Yeah, we're going in a
Fella.
circle. You're next after
Make
him.
sure
Okay,
you get to go
well,
last.
whatever. You
Anyway,
go, Chef.
what did I do this week? I don't remember. I have bad memory problems.
All right, next.
Parker, you're up.
Head no
I-
good.
I don't know. Ryan and I watched some Star Trek: The Next Generation
That's
earlier this week.
Yeah.
So let's just continue things that Ryan did.
Yeah. Yeah, we'll talk about that in the deep rock.
Yeah. And we talked about how much Wesley Crusher sucks
He sucks so much.
right from the beginning.
Yeah, I'd only heard things about his
Sheldon
kid.
Cooper is right.
Stop.
Yeah.
just to be clear, Ryan, you've never watched Star Trek: The Next Generation before,
No,
and
the
you
only-
watched it at least once.
I've
all the way
watched
through,
it all
right?
the way through once and seen a lot of episodes several times.
Yeah. Jeff is Star Trek boy. I'm getting there.
Yes.
I watched your like curated choice like gold
The
star
list,
episodes
yeah.
of the original
Yo,
series.
I
Oh wait,
watched-
did you actually go through the whole list?
Yeah, I watched every episode
Oh,
that he wanted me to watch.
I watched
Shit.
the first one off of that list.
Because I have that
with him.
list. I just suck at watching TV shows, so I haven't gotten to
I
Star
suck
Trek
at
yet.
watching things with real people in it, not cartoons.
But and then I watched some Star Trek Voyager today with my mother, which is the way I go
Nice.
through Star Trek shows with my mother.
Really? Did she like it?
Yeah.
That's cool.
I suspected that, but I never even like had a conversation with your mother about Star Trek,
When
so
it-
I
when
wouldn't
it-
know.
When it comes to like taste in TV shows and stuff, I think your mom's got the best taste out of all of our moms.
Yeah,
Maybe.
honestly.
But
Your mom watched a bunch of One Piece.
That's true.
I did not know that.
Thanks, Randy. But Voyager is definitely the worst of the 90s Star Trek shows.
Oh yeah.
And I think the first officer from that show, the actor is Robert Beltran, and he put it really well. Later in the show, it's just 3 characters. It's just their show.
Really?
The rest of the cast is like there to solve a problem every now and again, or have like their token, like this is our episode. But otherwise, it's just the fucking Doctor 7 of 9 Captain Janeway show.
I've heard 7 of 9 before. I have so much like Star Trek knowledge that I've absorbed through people speaking about it around me, but I've watched
osmosis.
very little. I was trying to think of a word that I can't think of, but yeah, osmosis, I guess.
There's probably a lot of Star Trek stuff you also know about from like other like shows and
That's
and
what I mean.
movies
Yeah,
and
like it's
stuff.
not just it's like just hearing about it. I know so much about this thing that I have little experience with.
Other things I did with Ryan, and also another one of our friends, was I played Deep Rock Galactic, which is a very fun game
Cool ass game.
where you play as dwarves in space and you mine. It's like Minecraft, but no craft, just mine.
Yeah.
And also it's missions and not an open world, which is like it's funny because
What-
I think we all had the idea that it was like go in and build a base and not that it was
Yeah.
mission based.
I had no idea. That's why I didn't care about the game because I was like, okay, if I'm
The,
just gonna
the
do
levels are procedural.
That's
generated.
another
Yeah,
thing,
yeah.
yeah. And it you can tell just looking at it, it's like, oh, this is a procedurally generated game because it looks like No Man's Sky a little bit.
It
I
does,
have
yeah.
an ignorant question. How does a procedurally generated game have levels like missions?
Well,
The
it's like here's
objective-
parameters, and then
Yeah.
it generates them, and it makes sure that the objectives are within the level, so that
Okay.
you can complete them.
That makes sense.
And they're implemented in a way where the player can achieve them.
Yeah.
I also want to ask, like, what genre is this game? Like you said, you mine, but is it like,
First person.
is there combat in this game?
Yeah, there's
Yeah.
a lot
Yeah.
of. There's actually a good
There's
amount
guns.
of combat. Yeah.
Guns.
And
There's
okay.
guns,
And
yeah.
there's
Yeah.
4
That-
classes, I think, and one of them
I
is
know
gunner.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Have you played this game?
I looked up a review because I asked them what is this, Battle Rock Theater?
Deep
What-
Rock.
Deep
Battle
Rock
Rock Theater.
Galactic. Anyway, I saw everybody was playing it, and I was like, oh, well, I might want to get in on this and play with you guys. What is it? And I don't know why, but when you guys were telling me about the game, you said like Minecraft without the craft, and I'm like, well, what's the point?
To
mine.
mine, you're dwarves.
And I don't know. So like, I then went and I just went on YouTube and like looked up like reviews, and literally like the few people that reviewed it. I mean, there's been a bunch of people, but the few people I've seen that reviewed it, they literally all said the same thing, where it was just like, this game's amazing and you need to buy it like right now. And I'm like, oh
It
shit.
is a ton of fun.
The only
is.
thing is, I just haven't had the time to play it recently, so I'm now interested.
Do you
so
own it?
No, I don't own it yet. Was it on sale or was it not on sale?
It was on sale for like 25% off.
Was it?
I
I thought I bought it at like full price. I don't know.
All right,
It was
you
like
look.
$22. Whatever.
One
Anyway,
of these
it's
days
not
I do
expensive,
want.
No, it's
One
not.
of these days I do want to play with you guys. Hopefully you guys don't get bored of it by the time I finally buy it. But
I'm not bored yet.
all
I
right.
also haven't played as much as you have.
Yeah.
Or, yeah.
Or a friend.
Yes.
Anything else? You have more to say about Deep Rock?
No, I have more to say about other things, though. I have 2 more things, and then it's your turn, Parker, because we're going in a circle.
It's fine.
I played a lot of Axiom Verge in the last 2 days, and that's a good Metroidvania. On the scale between the two other ones I've played, which are Super Metroid and Hollow Knight, it's very much more like Super Metroid.
Wait, what is it? What game was it?
Axiom Verge?
Oh, yeah, Axiom Verge. That game recently got a physical print on the Wii U.
Oh.
It is the last...
Wait, recently?
Yeah, it is the last game that got a Wii U print, I think. It's the last printed Wii U game ever.
It's not a bad
That's
game to
so
go
Because
out.
I think
to
it was
me.
on,
I
like,
think that's the
one of
most
those... You know
hilarious
those,
thing.
like, companies that do...
It's about limited run.
yeah, Limited Run is one of them. But
Oh,
there's also
that makes sense. to
Special
me then.
Reserve Games and a couple others, those companies that just put out a small print of indie games. They decided we're going to do a print of... I think they were... I might be talking out of my ass, but I think they were like...
I never heard that before. Did
You-
you say
you-
tongue out of your ass?
You've
Talking.
never heard that?
Talking out of your ass.
What
I heard no.
Brian.
I heard tongue out of your ass. That's
What
why.
the fuck?
That's why I laughed. All right. Screw it. I'll edit that. I don't care. Anyway.
No, don't leave that in.
No, leave that in. That's
All right.
really good. But I thought they might have said that they like knowingly did it at a loss or something. 'Cause it's like Wii U disc.
For those 5 Wii U owners
Yeah.
that still exist.
But yeah, that's all I want to say.
Anyway, it's good,
Is that a question
but
mark?
it's... Yeah, because, like...
Is a
I don't
hesitant
know.
good.
The music is very enjoyable, but it's very repetitive.
Is the-
Especially when you're on, like, the death march back to some place, which happened to me today. I kept getting, like, right before a save room and dying because I didn't understand how to beat an enemy. And then I was just like, well, what if I try this? And I just got there, and it was very Metroidvania.
Is it
Yeah.
that game's all made by one guy for the most part, isn't it?
Yeah.
Did he make the music too?
Maybe.
You know, I'll look
I'm
it
not
up.
Sure, I think so. So far I recommend the game if you like Metroidvanias, Ryan.
It's on my list.
A
It's
second
been on
one.
my list since it came out. I just never...
Yeah, Thomas Happ developed, published, and composed the game. I'm assuming that he probably made the art assets too. I think he just did everything.
It's like Toby Fox. But
Yeah, but Toby Fox didn't make the art. Like he made the character designs.
Oh yeah,
but
that's
then,
right. It was what's her face?
Temmie.
Timmy. Yeah.
Yeah.
One
But-
thing I will say about Axiom Verge is that the protagonist is kind of boring.
Oh yeah.
He's just like scientist man.
Hmm.
Seems
And-
up your alley though.
Yeah, well, the thing is, like, Gordon Freeman doesn't say anything.
I was literally thinking Gordon.
Oh, the guy talks in this game.
Oh,
He talks.
I
He
didn't
says
know
things.
that.
This
And
looks
that's why
like a
he's
game
boring.
that would have no dialogue.
It has a
almost
fair amount
Metroid.
of dialogue,
yeah,
actually.
Metroidvanias almost never have like the main character talking. Really.
It has a fair amount of dialogue, but he's like, whatever, and he's, I don't know, he's just boring. Scientist man. For, like, the first 4 hours of the game, he's just wearing a red shirt and brown pants, and I'm like, come on, man. Then he gets a lab coat, and it's like, okay, he's some white on there. Then it's a trench
God.
coat, and it's brown, and I'm like, oh.
Wait, white coat, red shirt, and brown pants.
It's like a lab
Is it-
coat,
is this-
though.
Is this Professor Oak?
Oh, shit.
Professor Oak's origin.
Professor Oak
There's
wear a red
also-
shirt
Got
that
him.
sounds like.
I don't know.
There's also a plot twist in the game that I got to today, and then I was like, okay, I'm gonna stop playing today.
Are you planning on getting the sequel? The sequel comes out. I think it's planned for fall 2020. Release dates are fake now. I mean, they always kind of were, but now because of the pandemic, they're like super fake.
I don't know if I'm gonna get it.
At all, or like.
Maybe later, later in life. And that's Axiom Verge. And then there was another thing. Oh, today I listened to the first rock album to come from China, and it was pretty good.
Wait, when was it released?
1988.
Ooh,
What's
that's
the
pretty
band?
late.
Do you know the name of the band? Name of the artist?
The man is Cui Jian.
Sway Jen.
That's pretty rock and
I think I
roll.
just butchered
Not,
that.
not gonna lie, that's pretty rock and roll.
I mean, that's just his name.
Yeah, wait.
That's
It's a good name.
Pretty rockin'.
It's a good name.
Yo, Sway Jen.
You know that Sway
Pretty
Jen?
rockin'.
You know in Sway in English, Sway Jen.
Take your time. Take
Say
your
it
time.
again,
Take your
Say it
time.
again.
Sway Jen.
You know in English, Sway
Jen.
Jen is pronounced Jim Morrison.
Shut up. Well, some people have just
It's
natural
also-
rock and roll names.
Well, it's
like
not-
Meatloaf.
It's
Yeah.
it's
Mr.
Sway
Black
Jen.
Sabbath.
Like if you wrote it out in Latin characters, it's Cuijian, which is it's not like sway like the motion.
Wait, what kind of rock is it?
Yes.
Chinese.
Oh, it's like yes.
No, it's not like
Yeah,
yes.
it's like the band.
Oh,
Yes.
so it's like psychedelic.
No,
Alright,
no,
yeah, I
not
got
my
it.
favorite band.
Is it? You don't have any idea on specific like.
I don't.
Is
know
it
how
like
to
other
describe it.
'80s rock? Is this
Sure.
Chinese Whitesnake?
I don't know. It was good. Okay.
What's the name of the album?
Yeah, you just said Chinese rock album, then the artist.
Rock
name.
and roll on the new long march.
That's a
Is
great
it,
name.
where did you, is it on Spotify?
No, it's not.
Oh, did you
Just
get
find
it
it
from
on
YouTube?
YouTube.
Wait, what'd you say?
This was just on YouTube.
All right.
Or if you have Apple Music,
No, No, I got Spotify.
yeah, I also have Spotify, and I was like, oh, it's not on here, and I can't put any of these songs in my playlist.
Wait, did you say Yes is your favorite band?
Yeah, yes.
I listened to
It's like
Shit,
missed opportunity.
I know.
I listened to 3 of their albums the other day.
Oh, which ones?
Time and a Word,
It's a good one.
900.
That's the one.
90125.
That's your favorite, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
Yeah. And oh shit, what was the other one?
Close to the Edge.
Oh, it might have been that one. Yeah.
Green one that has like 3 20-minute songs and that's it.
No, shit. I could-
Going for the one.
It's not the one you already listened to with the. It's not Fragile, right?
No, I love Fragile.
The one that's just called Yes.
Shit,
No.
that might have been. Actually, it might have been the one that's just called Yes. Oh wait. Oh wait. I'm sorry. I only listened to 2, I guess.
Oh,
Oh, so you're
Oh,
fucking
so
liar.
yeah, Time and a
bro.
Word and 90125.
Did
sorry.
you Did you have anything else you wanted to say about your? I say week. If we make this a weekly podcast, we will say that. But this is just pre-beginning the podcast. Like, what have you been
Episode
up to?
1, so basically recently is the
Yeah.
word.
recently?
Anything else?
No, I'm a very boring man, I guess.
Well, Brian, you were just talking about listening to those Yes albums. Do you have...
You're next. Dude.
You're next, Parker.
Why do you want to go
You're
last
next,
so
you-
bad?
No, I just wanted to
Parker's the guy
conversation to
that-
Parker
flow
wants to be
naturally.
special.
Parker wants to be the host and go
Parker's the
last.
guy that's like, oh, I really want to make a podcast. I really want to make a podcast. and
no,
then we
I just-
do the podcast. He's like, I want to be last.
I wanted to go last because I know what I'm talking about is going to bore the shit out of you, Brian.
I want to be last. I
Oh,
want to be
I know what we're
last so
talking
that
about.
people don't get to it in the YouTube video.
Okay, so I'm gonna go through.
I'll comment on it and go skip to here for Parker.
So
Parker timestamp.
So-
Only Parker.
what I've been up to lately? I've been playing a lot of playing little bits of a lot of stuff, so I don't have a lot to say about what I've been playing. A little bit of Last of Us 2. Don't really have any comments on it until I play more of it.
Not a lot of bits of a little stuff.
Did I say? Oh, I'm like talking.
You sure are.
I'm saying words. I don't think you said that. I was just thinking that. Also, it's not Quagwes.
Stop. So, along with that, I started Paper Mario and the Thousand Year Door.
Noose in that game.
Yeah, there's a noose right in the first town in the middle, and no one comments on it because there's just a noose because the first town is Crime Town. It's called Rogueport, and the noose is there to make you. I am literally just stealing what Wooly said on Castle Super Beast recently. Now, there's a noose in the middle of the town just to show you that like these is where the ruffians live or whatever, and it's even stronger in the Japanese version. Because this got edited out in the American version, but when you go into the back alleys of one of the Japanese version, there is a chalk outline of a toad on the ground.
Oh. Fucking rip Toad.
So yeah. Quick thoughts about that game. I'm only on the second chapter. That game is simultaneously everything that makes Nintendo games special and what I think of when I think of a good Nintendo game, and is also everything that they don't get on why their games are good and why they have been backpedaling so hard on Paper Mario since. That game
Tape.
I
Yeah.
was just gonna say.
Yeah, the new
like
game
stapler and
but
tape?
that new game.
I prefer colored pencil.
Yeah. Freaking the bosses in that new one make me so sad. The designs are so boring. But yeah, that game, the humor is hilarious and weird. The dragon is like, you want to smell my feet? When you fight him. And I think if you press yes, you lose the battle and have to start over, I think. But I'm not sure. Let's see what else. The game's just full of like weird humor and charm. It's also the best possible example of Nintendo. Nintendo wants to innovate everything, which is a lot of the time a huge problem because you get shit like Star Fox Zero where they were like, oh, we're gonna make Star Fox different, blah blah blah, and it turns out like, no, please just make something that plays like another video game so that we can play it. But Paper Mario and the Thousand Year Door is different in the fact that it is a turn-based RPG that plays like no other turn-based RPG. In that game, I don't know if Mario RPG, like the Super Nintendo one, is like this, but I know the first Paper Mario started this, and so do all the Mario and Luigi's games have this. Have the combat's like slightly interactive, where you select your attack, but then on your turn, you have to like, mash a button or hold something and line up correctly. So there's like more than just selecting your attack and going through with it. But on top of that, there's all these weird mechanics where the battle takes place on a stage, and
No, I've seen that, yeah.
and so there's an audience, and the better you play between battles, the bigger your audience gets.
Oh,
They
I did
will-
not know that.
They will.
Wait, are you saying it grows as you progress the game?
I think how it works, I haven't understood completely, but it's like, I think it's like if you're on a streak of like doing well in battle. I don't know if it carries over from battle to battle, but doing well in the battle, more audience members will come. And so like
It's a style meter.
yeah, it is 100% a style meter. And so they will sometimes throw things on stage, and so you'll get a prompt, and when the prompt pops up, you can press it to like go down in the audience and like kick them out. But you don't want to press it right away because sometimes they are throwing healing at you. So you need to stop for a second, look for it in the audience, whatever's about to be thrown, and then hit it before they throw it at you. There's another thing that I don't know when or why this happens, but sometimes a Shy Guy will run onto the stage and just drop stage lights. Which at first, I was like, oh, this is just random damage, and it can happen to you or the boss, and I was like, oh, that's weird. Until I got to enemies there are cloud enemies in the second chapter that can, one of their attacks is, one of the things they can do is they can charge electricity, which builds into another attack the next turn. But when they're charged with electricity, if you try a melee attack on them, you will electrocute yourself. No. But if you are hit with a stage light, you are immune to electricity. So that happened in a thing where in a battle, the cloud charged itself up, and then before my turn came up, a Shy Guy ran on the stage, dropped a stage light on my partner, and then my partner was able to attack the cloud while it was still electrically charged because my partner was also electrically charged by the stage light.
Oh, I was like, trying to think. I'm like, why would getting hit by the light make you immune? I was like, thinking that the thing like stuck on you or something, and I was like,
lightning rod lights.
No,
yeah,
no.
Yeah.
But all kinds of little touches like that where I'm like, oh my god, this is genius. And it's like, it's not in-house Nintendo that developed these. It's Intelligent Systems who make all the Fire Emblem games. Yeah. So they know how to make good turn-based like stuff, and so they just took that and went into Paper Mario, and it's like, oh, it's so creative, and the characters are cool. So far, they haven't done anything, but there have been small sections where I played as Peach and Bowser, and I was like, oh, no, that's cool. They didn't really do much. But all that happened with Peach was that there was a few minutes where she had to teach a computer what love is.
Yep. Peach and the computer that wants to fuck her.
Yeah, and then after teaching it what love is, or starting to teach it what love is, it allows her to send, because she's in prison. The computer lets her send emails to Mario because it's teaching her what love is, or she's teaching it what love is. But yeah, so I've been doing that. On top of that, talking about quirky Nintendo RPGs, I started playing Earthbound with Ryan and Chef watching me play Earthbound because we've been.
Earthbound.
Is that your favorite, Chef? Is that your favorite game of all time?
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
that's another really quirky RPG from Nintendo. I think it could use a little remaster, tweaking little things
yeah.
like the
item
inventory.
menu.
Yeah, the inventory
is,
system
like,
is
the
terrible.
One thing where I'm like, that's the one thing that makes me almost not want to replay it and like go back
It
because I'm
also,
like,
like-
I don't want to.
I could use a run button.
It needs the run button from Mother 3.
Yeah.
Um,
It needs the emulator speed up thing.
Oh my god. Pressing spacebar and flying across the screen.
and but yeah, Earthbound, never played it before. And I know it's a classic, and I adore it so far. I think I'm getting close to halfway through, but not.
Where were you?
quite.
What was the?
You
It's
got
been
the
a.
Foresight.
Yeah, I got the foresight. Not quite halfway. Maybe like. I was gonna say fractions in my head right now. No, I am getting close. Besides that, I actually watched a bunch of stuff recently, so I'll go through. I watched the first season of K-On!
Yes. Yes.
Because I don't know, I was just like, I need to watch something light in between all this other stuff I'm doing, and something that I can just look on my breaks and work and stuff. And super fun, super cute. It's not the type of like I like all kinds of stuff when it comes to anime and TV movies. Just generally like, there's not like a whole genre where I'd be like no, but I've never really watched this like kind of high school girl type anime. Like there's a ton of them, and I just K-On's the one I know.
Most of them aren't animated by what is it? What studio is it? KyoAni.
Yeah.
So
KyoAni.
Yeah.
Did you say KyoAni?
I don't know.
KyoAni. Kyoto Animation.
Oh.
You don't speak it.
Yeah, I'm not a weeb. You're the weeb here.
You're the furry.
Yeah, you're the furry.
Not.
Know your place,
Eat shit.
Ryan.
I am
But-
not.
Listener, if you are a furry, that's fine. But if
but-
Ryan is, that's not.
I'm not.
But he is.
I don't mind furries. I'm just not one.
I'll be the one to say that Ryan is a furry, but that's okay.
No, it's not. It's Ryan
can't
being a
believe-
furry.
But with K-On, yeah, super cute, super nice animation. I was not expecting to laugh as hard as I have been watching it. Like it's
funny
really
show.
funny. Oh my god, the main character, Yui, is one of the dumbest characters ever. Like in a good way. She's so stupid. Like she literally does nothing,
Yeah.
and then bumbles her way through life. Where she like. Brian, do you know what? But K-On! Is at all? Like it's
It's an anime.
It's an anime about. I guess I should preface this in case some people don't know.
It's just a cute girls
It's-
doing cute things
no,
show.
no.
That's all
well,
it is.
Well, what it's
That's- I don't
no,
wanna
no, no,
watch
no,
that.
no, Brian. It is 4 girls starting a rock and roll club at their high school.
Oh, that's actually funny.
Yeah,
I would
Yeah.
watch
and
that.
and the main character joins just the one I was talking about, who's like dumb and bumbles her way through everything, despite not knowing how to play an instrument, and throughout the show just like falls into learning how to play the guitar. Like
Listen,
it gets to
yeah,
the point. It gets
she's
to
the
the
like-
Sex Pistols can do it. Anyone can do it.
But it gets to the point later where another member joins who's really good at guitar, and she's like an underclassman, and every time Yui is like, she just slowly finds out how little Yui knows about guitar. She'll be like she'll talk about some guitar technique, and you'll be like, what is that? She's like, you don't know? How have you been playing for this long? And she's like, I just do.
You don't know alternate picking?
And then
Did someone clap?
Sorry, I wasn't thinking and I cracked a knuckle.
Okay. It's like, because I'm looking down at our levels
finger
to
hurt.
see what the volume's like, and all of a sudden I just heard a, and I'm like, what was that? And
Sorry.
we
but
can.
also I was like, I don't know, I missed where it happened, so I didn't even know whose mic. did
One
it.
of the mics
I just heard it from my headset, like, oh no, someone
should-
snapped their neck.
Maybe we'll cut that out.
No, it's funny. It's okay.
But yeah. So Yui falls into like learning how to play guitar, and she's just like completely stupid. But then is also kind of a natural at it. There's a really funny joke where the girl who's good at guitar is using her tuner, and Yui's like, "What is that?" And she's like, "What? It's a tuner." Yui, how have you been tuning your guitar? And Yui's just like, "I just do it by ear." And the underclassman is like, "What the? you can just do that, like, despite only playing guitar for a year. So, really funny. I do have some complaints, though. I was excited to watch the show because I just, like, I was excited to watch the show just because I love music, and I love music and animation. I am disappointed that there's not as much music in the show as I assumed there would be.
Yeah.
The first season has, like, they play bits of music. A lot of time they'll be like, okay, let's start practicing, and you'll hear the beginning and end of them practicing, but they won't show you the whole thing. So, moments where they play a full song, there's like 3 in the first season out of 12 episodes, which is a little disappointing. Not that, now that I know what the show is, it's a lot of the episodes are jokes about them going, man, we should practice, but let's do this instead, and just like them fucking around. It's funny. I just wish, the intro and the outro are basically music videos. So I was hoping there'd be more stuff like that in the show. That being said, though, not a huge complaint. That was more of just me misunderstanding what the show was. One that is a huge complaint, though, is we've talked about this before, and I will talk about this more in a bit. But in general, the trope, the anime trope of this character's personality is they're a pervert. I don't like that.
Is there a character
I
like that in
hate
K-On?
the teacher. I hate the teacher.
Oh,
I
forgot
joke
about that.
Her whole
yeah.
joke is like, I'm gonna, because she's their.
She wants to put him in the outfits.
Yeah. She's their
God, I forgot
advisor
about that.
for the club. She's the music teacher, and all the character does is she's like, I want to dress you in little maid outfits, and it's gross. And it gets to the point where she's like, tries to like grab their boobs and stuff, and I'm like, nope, don't like that. Please do something else with this character, because that's annoying, and I watch this in my living room with my family home. So.
Yeah. Well,
Nothing
on that note, it's not like there's a pervert character or anything, but like when I was watching Sailor Moon and everything, it's like you get to some episodes where it's like, for example, she has like a transformation stick or whatever, where she's like, I want to become a this, and then it gives her an outfit or whatever. Every time she does it, it's like, I want to be a sexy news reporter, or I want to be like a hot whatever, and I'm like,
see that.
Stop! You're a middle schooler. Stop.
Yeah.
What's funny about the character who's like pervert, and also talking about my mom watching One Piece.
Your mom's like, I like Nami's.
No. When Brooke is introduced and he's like, yo ho ho panties, my mom thought that was very funny.
Yeah.
Brooke is it's not his whole character though. I think that's important.
His whole character is skeleton.
Yeah.
Well, it's why
wait.
at least in Dragon Ball Master Roshi works, because he's not like just that. Same thing with like Jiraiya from Naruto or something.
Where that's my issue with his teacher characters. That is it.
Yeah.
That is all she does. They make you think she's gonna be interesting because she has a whole thing where her past is that she was a huge rocker in high school, and I mean like she would paint her face and like she was like a hard rocker. And then they don't do anything with that. So she just becomes, I wanna dress you in weird cat ears and stuff. And I'm like, oh, please stop. Other than that, I finally, for the past couple months, me and a couple buddies have been rewatching for me at least, Star Wars: The Clone Wars, because the new season was coming out. And because of pandemic and stuff, we didn't get to finish it by the time the season started. We had to like line up our schedules and do it over Discord instead of in person. But we finally watched the last episodes, and they are incredible. They are better than most Star Wars media, arguably most Star Wars movies. Better than at least like, I don't know, the prequels and the sequels probably.
Yeah.
And so the last season is 12 episodes. It's 3 4-episode arcs. And I don't know. I know you've watched a bunch of it. You didn't watch Chef, you didn't watch the last season, right?
I watched the whole series except for the most recent season.
The series in general is like kind of an anthology series, but not. There's not like a through line of plot. It's just the Clone Wars from Star Wars, and the show very very much feels like we are in war, where it's a lot of mini stories. But characters come, they're Jedi and stuff, so a lot of characters will bounce between them, and they will often reference other mini stories, but there's not like it doesn't feel like you're watching something start and end throughout the whole show. It's just you're watching all of these concurrent events, And it's also a lot of it's out of order too. Like the first episode is not the first chronological thing that happens in that show. It's just, they just because it's just random
point,
stories.
it becomes chronological.
Yeah, and like season like 3 or 4.
Yeah.
But anyway, the last season, the show originally got canceled in 2015 when Disney bought Star Wars.
Mm-hmm.
So there's been a couple years, been 5 years. Animation is gorgeous in this new season. Like, it was already really good by the end of the show. First season looks kind of stinky, but the like it builds and builds. And then there's this 5-year gap, so you come back and it looks so pretty, and the characters' designs look cool. Ahsoka's outfit she wears in the new season, I think, is sick. Like she just looks cool. And the 4 episode the arcs are cool. The first one's really cool, where they do God, what was the first arc? Oh, the first one was like a classic Clone Wars, like, here's a group of clones that you haven't met yet, and it's gonna be cool. And this group of clones and then the first one, I'm gonna go into some slight spoilers for the newest Clone Wars season. The group of clones, what were they called? The Bad Batch. And it's it's these clones that have genetic Chef, do you care if I'm going into like slight spoilers?
I know about the Bad Batch.
So these clones that have genetic what's the word? Like traits that clones aren't supposed to have.
Mutations?
Genetic mutations that are really good, and so one of them is like, and they each have like specific traits where one's like an amazing tracker, one of them is an amazing marksman. One of them, like they come off one by one on the ship, and I couldn't stop fucking laughing when the last one comes out, because he is just huge. I literally started laughing, and my buddies who were watching with were like, what? And I just said, Meat Trooper. Like, he comes in, and he's... and it's like, it's a little silly. At one point, he lifts not a huge ship, but like a little ship up a little bit to like help someone out. And then there's a cut to them hanging out. And you know those, do you guys know the Gonk droids? The big, like, square battery ones?
Yeah.
Gonk.
There is literally a part where he is lifting one, like pumping it like a weight with one hand, and eating a chicken leg with the other. He is the meatiest man I've ever seen. So that was hilarious.
That sounds so cartoony.
Yeah, well, it's a cartoon. But the second arc was a little. The second arc is probably the lull in the new season, but it's cool. It's a Ahsoka arc, because I won't specify anything, because I know Ryan, you eventually want to watch this, but
I know some pretty big spoilers about that
when the show got canceled, it was a huge Ahsoka cliffhanger. Like, Ahsoka's fate is completely unknown at the end of the season, and then they released some lost episodes in between, and she was in none of them. So we had no idea what was going on with her, besides like the stuff in Rebels, which I don't want to talk about. But so that was a fun arc. And then the last arc is, I won't go into specifics like about what happens, but I will say it's incredible. There are 3 major characters, 2 original Clone Wars characters. Well, one is Ahsoka. I can say who, but it's the last arc is about Ahsoka, Captain Rex, and Darth Maul, and basically is like, hey, how did they end up? Because all 3 of those characters appear in Star Wars Rebels, so it's like, how did they, not die or whatever? And the last episode the last 4 episode arc takes place during Revenge of the Sith, where Ahsoka meets with Anakin and Obi-Wan. They leave. Then at the beginning of the second episode, I think, she calls Obi-Wan, and he's like, makes some comment about Count Dooku, and she's like, what do you mean? He's like, Anakin just killed Count Dooku. And then they're slowly, and he's like, I'm going to fight General Grievous, and it's like, oh, the thing. So,
isn't there one scene where Ahsoka is talking to Mace Windu, and the implication is that right after that conversation is when they're having like I sense a plot to destroy the Jedi.
It is right before that.
Yeah.
What is? Yeah, there are literal lines from Revenge of the Sith in it, where that meeting where he's like, I sense a plot to destroy the Jedi, and then Yoda says something in the movie. Mace Windu says that, Yoda says something, and it cuts. Where it cuts in the movie, Ahsoka walks into the room, and they just have another conversation. It's like really well written, like around the events of the movie, probably because the movie is a mess and there's huge holes anyway.
Yeah.
So you can do that.
Yeah.
But she walks in, and there's a really good moment there with what spoiler do you know about Ahsoka? anything? Do you know what the big like thing at the end, the cliffhanger is?
Yeah. Okay. Because if what you're talking about takes place during Revenge of the Sith, what I'm thinking of has to take place after that. So.
After?
Yeah.
Oh, so you're thinking of Rebel stuff then?
I guess so.
Are you talking about the time travel bullshit?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's all Rebels. Don't worry about that.
Okay. All right.
Okay, then I guess I won't spoil, but okay. At the end of Clone Wars, she leaves the Jedi Order.
Mm.
And then you don't know what happens after that until these episodes. Finally, you find out what happens. So she's talking to the Jedi, but is not like a member.
Mm-hmm.
And there's this really funny, honestly, like thing that Mace Windu says, because she makes a comment about her being a citizen now. And she's talking to Mace Windu and Yoda when they're talking about the like plot to destroy the Jedi, and she tries to like pry about what they're talking about, and Mace Windu is like, "This is for the Jedi to handle, citizen," or something like that, and it's just like, oh, oof. But yeah, they even play
Yoda goes,
when
fucked kit.
when when Order 66 happens, like right before that, when the scene where he's like, "Don't leave me, Anakin," and like all that,
Unlimited.
they literally play those clips of Anakin and the Emperor speaking, like from the movie, which was really weird because Clone Wars Anakin does not sound like Hayden Christensen. So I was kind of like, well, that's weird, and because it's just like Ahsoka like hears it like through the Force, and yeah, the ending is really sad, obviously, because it.
Wait, can I just say that it's so funny that you said that Clone Wars Anakin doesn't sound like Hayden Christensen. What's his name? Hayden
Christensen?
Christian. Did I say it right?
Yeah.
All right. It's funny that you say that because we all played Star Wars Battlefront 2, EA's Star Wars Battlefront 2, and it looks like Hayden Christensen, but the voice is Clone Wars Anakin, and it's the most jarring thing where I'm like, this technically isn't wrong, but I still don't know if I like looking at it.
And I like Clone Wars guy a lot.
I mean,
I like him. Yeah, he's a good actor.
Well, this is a spoiler, I guess. Isn't like the last scene or shot just like Schmarth Mater?
Yeah.
Looking at the sky.
yeah. It's actually pretty. It's kind of powerful where Anakin and Ahsoka have like a really nice, touching moment, and then he does not appear again until as Darth Vader at the end. So it's like, oh, that's sad. But yeah, it's the last season is fantastic. Clone Wars is an amazing show. With that, then there's the one last thing I wanted to talk about. So my year-long quest has finally finished.
Yes.
Starting last summer, I started reading One Piece from the beginning. And as of a few days ago, have now read all 984 chapters of One Piece.
And I beat you.
Yeah. Chef started reading it after me and finished many months before I did.
Funny thing about me starting it, though, I started reading Watchmen, the comic, and then I read all of One Piece, and I still have not finished reading Watchmen.
What makes that funnier?
That makes me sad.
Well, let me add on top of that. It's my copy of Watchmen that he still hasn't returned to me. And not only did he read all of One Piece, he also read all of Dragon Ball.
Yes.
That's true, yeah.
And another manga, actually.
Yeah, it's been over a year since I lent you Watchmen. But yeah, so One Piece, it's amazing. It is the only one of the big three from Shonen Jump that is good and stays good.
Yeah.
Like Naruto and Bleach, as far as I know, crash and burn, but One Piece stays good the whole time.
Bleach gets like 100 chapters in or something. Naruto also only gets like 100 some chapters in, and it's like One Piece was just getting going then.
Yeah, I was like, One Piece has
warming up.
It's got peaks and valleys, but it never goes.
The valleys ain't that low.
Yeah, it's not. The lowest valley
peaks
is
and plateaus.
The lowest valley
people
is.
would argue.
The lowest one is long ring island.
That is not
Foxy.
a valley. That is a peak.
You think so?
That's a
That
peak.
is, yeah.
Right after
That's a
Alabasta, really?
That is a flat line because it's like.
If anyone gives a shit about One Piece, we're just gonna talk open spoilers about One Piece now.
Oh gosh, yeah, I guess we are.
So yeah, reaction. Let me go through my thoughts on the whole series. It's incredible that for 20 years this man has been able to consistently write this story and keep it good and keep the characters interesting and keep introducing new interesting characters.
It's a modern
Sometimes
day epic.
It is.
honestly.
Now I will say, I mean, it's the third most popular comic of all time after Superman and Batman. It beat Spider-Man recently.
It's
in
getting
sales.
close to Batman.
Yeah, like by the time
by
it
the time it's
finishes,
done,
it's going to
yeah.
beat Batman, and I don't know if it'll ever beat Superman, but
Probably not.
but
Oda can just keep it going a couple more years.
yeah,
We'll get
The epilogue.
Boofy.
but so I think the reason why it works so much is because the overarching story that's going for 20 years is very simple. It's just like we are going to go for the One Piece, become king of the pirates, and then all of the arcs are really condensed. Like every arc is like its own little anime, where they go to an island and just find out what's going on the island. And usually it's like, oh, this island is suffering from severe racism, or this island is being taken over by a horrible warlord, or God hates this one in the sky.
Yeah.
I didn't know God was a character.
I didn't either.
I'm the only one in this group that like literally hasn't seen or read anything One Piece related, so I only know information from everyone else talking about One Piece. So you saying that was like a slap in the face. I was like, oh, I guess that's part
Brian,
of it.
when I-
not only do they defeat God, they defeat him in the first half.
Yeah, when I got to God, I texted Ryan and I was like, you know, it was fun pirate adventures in like desert land, and suddenly we're in the sky fighting God.
And then God goes to the moon.
Yeah,
And then
yeah.
God goes to the
And
moon.
has not returned yet.
And yeah, he fought some robots on the moon or something.
Yeah,
and
something like that. But yeah, and so that's incredible. I wanted to quick go through like what arcs I thought were my favorite. If I had to pick like a definitive best, like I feel like most people would fight me if I didn't call like Marineford and the Summit War like the best arc, because it's the one that everyone seems to get the most hyped about.
I mean, I feel like a lot of a good chunk of people would agree with me also about Water 7 / NES Lobby.
Yeah, yeah.
I-
My favorites. I'm gonna throw out my favorites. Alabasta has always been a favorite of mine because that Alabasta was the first moment that made me cry out of 4, I think.
Tears.
Thriller Bark is a little Thriller Bark gets really good by the end, and is the second time I believe that made me cry. Thriller Bark also has one of them because Brooks' entire character I adore.
Yeah.
Like he's already great,
He's
and
the
then when they
best.
show his backstory at the end, I'm like, this is probably the best out of the Straw Hats. But since then, what else would I say? I also really like Impel Down.
Yeah.
Like I like when this is, I notice anime do this a lot, but I like when other things do this. Have a big cast of characters and then you shuffle them. So like they get in their cliques or whatever, and then you're like, no, these characters who don't interact that much have to interact. So in Impel Down, it's a prison break thing. So Luffy has to team up with a bunch of former villains,
Yeah.
and that's cool.
I just want to say quick that an arc like Impel Down or Marineford even only works in a story like One Piece that's so long and has
Yes.
the world so fleshed out like that. Like specifically Impel Down, like you can't do an arc like that in many other series. There's just
No.
not enough like villains and stuff. It's like a thing that only works with like comic book characters or something, because there's so many. There's such big rogue galleries from over the years of how
It
many different
happened in
writers.
Dragon Ball when Tenshin Han shows up to do something and then like die.
Yeah, exactly.
I
Yeah, exactly.
also wanted
Dragon
to-
Ball.
Stop. Oh, everyone laughed at the same time. Everyone peeked. I'm sorry.
I also wanted to throw in with Whole Cake Island. They do. That is, from what I can tell, the trope of the Sasuke retrieval arc. It's a bit of the Sanji retrieval arc, but
Okay,
only in
okay.
like in like.
Sanji
They
retrieval
they
arc,
do
but it's
get
not
him,
like-
but it's
But
not,
I was gonna
like,
say it's
structured
not
anywhere
like,
similarly
well, that's
to,
what
like-
I'm saying. Where I was gonna say it's like, it seems like it's gonna be that, and they're like, no, this is much more than that. It's
Yeah.
much more,
Yeah.
and I feel like a big reason for that is because of, again, the world, where they can just, this world is so fleshed out and so planned out that they can just reveal big chunks that fit in perfectly and keep surprising you. I love all the Straw Hats, of course, of varying degrees. there's not one of the main characters that I dislike. Sanji has the same issue that we were talking about a minute ago, where his entire character is being a perv.
Yeah,
Which
it's
contrary to Brooke, where Brooke is a perv, but like it's every once in a while, and the jokes are timed in a way where it's okay, it's kind of funny, and he has other things that go in for him. Most of his jokes are "I am dead, I am a skeleton."
Yeah.
If I had eyes.
Well, with Sanji, it's like he's one of the before the time skip. He's one of my favorite Straw Hats, easily. Like I love him in all of the pre-skip arcs. But then he's
during
like
the time skip,
kind of flanderized a bit. I also hate his. I actually hate his like time skip journey.
Yeah, because everyone else has cool
Island
things.
Sucks. It is like the worst
all
thing
their
ever.
time skip journeys are cool, except Sanji's is, hey, he's a huge transphobe.
Yeah, ain't trans folk weird, fellas?
Yeah,
it's
and it's
Learning
like,
to fly to run away from the Okamas.
I think I glazed over that part so much that I didn't know he knew how to fly.
Yeah, because we were talking about it the other day.
Because the other day I was like, wait, what? He can fly?
Yeah, like, what?
Which is weird. That's a thing I've noticed in some anime, where it seems weirdly progressive. Because when the Okama character,
cast about One Piece and
because One Piece is like weirdly like crazy. It seems crazy progressive, especially for this thing that started in the 90s and when Bon Kuri was introduced. That was probably
Bon
like
Clay.
Bon Clay. Oh, is that what it is in the? I read
Bon
a fan
Clay.
translation.
Yeah,
Bon Clay.
Yeah, Bon Clay is the one thing where it's like
He was introduced, but what I'm saying is, when were they introduced? Like probably early 2000s.
It was like early 2000s probably.
So
90s.
From very progressive like ideas on gender identity and stuff like that, and then they just stomp all over it during the time skip where they're like, one of our heroes is going to be a huge transphobe and going to refer back to it multiple times after the time skip. Whenever he's going to think of these trans women and shudder, and every time I do that, I'm like, oh, God damn it! Like you had a good streak going, and then we're just like, no, I'm gonna take 2 steps backwards. Which One Piece, it's a give and take. I wouldn't go as far as calling One Piece like this amazing progressive piece of media when it's the women are drawn like 3 circles and an X.
Yeah,
as said by the author, I draw 3 circles and then an X.
Yeah, it's like Oda's so weird with that because it's like, especially in the newest arc in Wano, because you have Okiku, who's, I want to get this right, I think like male to female, I believe, or is it the other way around?
What it is they don't like specify it. What it is everyone assumes they're female.
Yeah,
and then they reveal that he is a man, and he says I am a woman at heart. And so it's hard for me because I don't know what I would like. I guess that would mean that she is a trans woman, but it's like the writer is like being weird about it, where they're like
well, yeah, I don't think he'd like
backwards.
explicitly say it. It's like the same thing with Yamato in the newest chapter. It's like I've seen people arguing about it like all week because it's like just weird with how he says it, and then there's translation you got to put into things.
Yeah,
and
and then it's like,
but overall, I think Oda, like at the end of the day, like I think Oda is pretty positive about it most of the time. It's like like Bon Clay has a whole speech about like, oh, you can, what does he say? It's like you can fail at being a man, you can fail at being a woman, but you can never fail at being a person or something. I'm like, that's kind of a cool quote.
And the whole thing during Impel Down with
Ivankov, yeah,
Ivankov is that whole area. They're like, here, gender is not real. You are just who you are, and like that is amazingly progressive. And then it happens before the time skip stuff with Sanji, and it's just like,
well, because Ivankanov. Did I just say it wrong?
I don't know. Every time I see that name, it's just like, oh, syllables.
I'm just gonna call him Ivan.
Yeah, but
Queen.
Yeah, Queen.
But yeah, Island. The only other thing I had specifically to say about I could talk about this for hours, but
I will say one more thing. All of the like Okama characters are always also the good guys too.
Yeah. No,
except for Bon Clay isn't at first,
but becomes
but
good.
Then
and also they're like
huge bro.
badasses on top of that.
Yeah,
it's not even just they're good guys; they're like powerful and cool, and I like them a lot.
Okama Kenpo.
Yeah.
Do you know what the I was looking at a list. So okama is the term they use for all of the like characters in the show that are supposed to be gay or have some kind of fluid gender identity. Now,
The LGBT.
I'm not sure
embodied
if that
characters.
word. I've been trying to look up the context. That word might be offensive, actually,
Yeah,
I'm not sure, but because I don't know exactly what its connotation is in Japanese. But now I looked at the list because in the different dubs and between the show and the movies and the 4Kids dub and and the translation of the comics and fan translation, Okama Kenpo, which is the fighting style that they use, has had a bunch of different names, and I've seen it called
sure.
like, well, usually Kenpo gets translated as karate, so it's like Okama karate or whatever. Eventually, it starts to inch closer to the real definition, and I know in like, I think in one of the movies they call it cross-dresser karate.
Mm.
You know what it's called in the 4Kids dub? Crazy karate.
Oh hell yeah.
They just were like, no, we're not even gonna deal with that, and I'm like, thank
Sanji-
God that 4Kids didn't stay on that.
Sanji during the 4Kids time skip just like.
Well, these crazy
I'm gonna
people.
learn the crazy karate.
That's
You're
what
gonna do
Sanji
crazy
sounds
kicks
like.
and fly.
Brian, that's what Sanji sounds like in the 4Kids.
Dude, I wasn't
dub of
reacting to
One
that.
Piece. I know. But I wanted to cap off the One Piece conversation with just this. Would the two of you like to make a bet with me?
Oh.
A monetary bet on what year One Piece is going to end.
I am not willing to make this bet.
That's a fool's bet. Because we'll all lose.
Well, I was gonna say
Yeah,
whoever gets
Sunday.
the money is the one who gets closest.
Oh,
To the
okay.
Jeopardy rules.
Then I'm gonna go first and guess 2028.
I'm not betting.
2028. Why?
Because I think it has like 8 years left in it.
8. I don't know. I was gonna say 6 years left, but
Oh.
All right, you're.
that means if it
2026,
goes any
2028.
farther than 2028, Ryan wins automatically because his will always be closer to the farthest. I don't know. I'm gonna say 2026.
So that means if it's at like 2027, you win by Jeopardy rules.
Really? Okay. That's recorded.
Not Jeopardy rules.
Ryan,
Price
how
is
much
Right
money?
rules.
How much
Price
money
is
are we
Right
putting down
rules.
on this?
I don't know, like $20. I don't know.
I was gonna say 50.
50? Sure, whatever.
50
I'm glad I
bucks.
didn't make this bet.
What?
I'm glad I didn't make this bet.
I have $50. I don't care.
50 bucks. If
Yeah, that's
I
fine.
want-
What'd you say anyway?
2026.
2026? Okay.
And Chef said by Jeopardy rules, 2027 would go to me.
I think not Jeopardy rules. Price is Right rules. Closest without going over.
But you would get
Anything
anything
time
past
point-
2028.
Yeah, that's true.
I'm fine with this. That's all I had to say. Brian, do you want to cap
Well,
us off with what?
Just real quick, if we're going by years, like, are we going which year it happens in, or are we gonna like once it happens go like okay,
No, year,
okay,
because that is more in my favor. Okay, Brian,
you.
Okay.
what have you been up to?
Before I talk about what I've been up to, I would just want to say, I'm the audio engineer here, and I'm the only one wearing headphones. No one else is wearing headphones, so I hope to God this sounds good, because there are times where people are like raising their voice, trying to like reach someone like across the table, and they're not actually like near their microphone, or they're getting too close to their microphone. I'm trying my best right now to make sure that no one is like peaking and too loud, or like they're too soft.
This is the learning experience. Our first one's gonna be
Yeah,
shit.
I just-
Who cares?
I'm just warning the audience.
no
that-
one's gonna listen to this. Who cares?
Yeah, I'm just warning people that we are like underprepared for this episode, and we're gonna get better.
And for the next,
Literally, the
100.
problem is they're not wearing headphones, so they don't know when they're being too soft or too loud.
That's because someone didn't buy a splitter on Amazon.
Motherfucker, I will kill
fired.
you.
Somebody have, I'm gonna say, since I have not spent any money on this yet, I think it's really a shame that you didn't buy a splitter, Brian.
Yeah.
Whatever.
What did you
Whatever.
do? What did you do? What have you been up to recently?
Lots of video games.
You also watched Batman.
Yeah, we
Mask of the
watched
Phantasm.
Batman Mask
Oh
of the
yeah,
Phantasm.
that was.
Which, now that we watched Batman Mask of the Phantasm,
We
I can
as in-
officially, we as in me, Chef, and Parker, I can officially say that I've seen every single theatrical release of a Batman film.
Oh, that's cool. Can you put that on
Um,
like your resume?
I can put, it's a minor.
Minor in Batman.
Bat minor.
The Bat minor? That's just Robin.
Wow.
I'll be here all week. Okay.
We got jokes on this podcast, ladies and
Ryan's
gentlemen.
paid
Okay.
all week.
So anyway,
Yeah, we sit here until we record the next episode.
Batman Mask of the Phantasm was really good. It was better than, I think it came out the exact same year as Batman Forever.
Really?
Yeah. And it didn't do well because it was the cartoon Batman. No one wanted to see the cartoon
I thought
Batman.
it was great.
And then literally every critic was just like, it's funny how the cartoon's more mature than the actual like live action one.
Funny how that works.
Especially since the one before was Batman Returns, and that was the one where Tim Burton got to do whatever he wanted, and it was like really, really dark and twisted, more so than the first movie. It was more of a Tim Burton movie than a Batman movie. But
I wanted to throw in because I was talking about it with Ryan earlier, but what I thought was cool about this movie is thinking about it. This is like a story that only works, at least in my head, only works for Batman. Like it's not a superhero story that I was like, oh, other characters could like fill this role because of how it ties in with his origins and everything like that. Like it's really well written.
yeah, him talking
Batman.
about like his plan and the promise that he has, which oh, I guess I won't spoil it. I don't care. But I don't know, all I'm gonna say, I'm a fan of the Batman animated series. I didn't grow up with it. It wasn't on when we were younger. I think
I watched
WB
like
Kids was like about to end when we were like.
I watched a lot of W Kids at a young age, so I definitely caught some of it.
I had like a DVD that had a couple episodes on it, and I watched that like
Yeah.
front to
I definitely
back.
watched Batman Beyond when I was little.
But I watched
If you can watch front
reruns.
to
I
back,
watched reruns
back
of
to
the
front.
animated series, like around middle school, and I loved it whenever it was on. And it's the movie's definitely just a glorified episode of a TV show, but that's not even like, that's not a negative. That's just how good the show is.
It's reminds me of the Cowboy Bebop movie in the same fashion of
Yeah.
like, this is just a long episode, but I wouldn't want it to not be.
Yeah, so we watched that. It was good. Not my favorite Batman movie. Because I don't know, Dark Knight's actually just the best one. We can debate it, but it's whatever.
I thought,
I don't think we're gonna. debate
Brian
'cause-
says, "Debate me."
I would say like I liked it. I didn't you know.
That's just a popular conversation people have. Like, what's the best Batman movie? That's the only reason why I
It's
worded
the
it
Dark
like
Knight
that.
conversation over.
Yeah. Okay.
The
The Dark
the
Knight
first
Mask.
the
of
fir- the
Phantasm.
1980 is it 1980 or 85? The
Tim Burton.
yeah.
It's 89, I think. No.
No, it might be 89 actually. Whatever.
No, wait,
The Tim
yeah, it is
Burton
89.
Batman movie is only the best one if you're 40.
That movie holds up though.
It
It's
does.
really good.
It
It's
does.
such a good movie.
It does, but not as much as The Dark Knight holds up.
Yeah. Anyway, yeah, we watched that. I don't even know if I've seen another movie this week.
Ever.
But I watched School of Rock with my dad for the first time 2 weeks ago. That was fun.
Nice.
He hates Jack Black though.
Why
I
does
found
he
that.
hate Jack Black.
I don't know.
Kaplinsky
Here's the thing.
games.
He also hates just any actor that's like that, where they're very physical and also loud.
Oh.
He hates Jim Carrey. He hates Jack Black.
How did you
Yeah,
find the movies that you like? You're just naming things you like.
yeah, I know.
Your
No,
like-
family-
I never once said I shared the same taste of movies as my parents.
I know,
Well,
I
no, I'm
do.
just saying,
Here.
like, your parents would have like shown you stuff as a kid. Was your dad just like, Brian, this is everything I
They,
hate?
they did show me some stuff, and there is some movies I love because my parents showed them to me. I still want to show you guys My Cousin Vinny. That movie's amazing. Also, I watched Walk the Line because of them in 3rd grade, which is not an age you should be watching Walk the Line. Or My Cousin Vinny. I don't know why I was so young when I watched these movies. But in terms of this week, I had a Naughty Dog marathon because I beat The Last of Us Part 2. Oh my God! What?
What? Yeah. What are you like?
I
Look
thought
at
your
me
sentence
giggling.
was gonna end and I had a Naughty Dog, and I was like, "What does that mean?" Sorry.
It's a hot dog that's been places.
Okay.
No.
Anyway, so I like just marathon a bunch of Naughty Dog games because I remember I beat Last of Us Part 2 within last week, but of course I played the original before that. Actually, I played God of War in between the first Last of Us and Part 2, but still, it still counts. It's still very recent. And then when I beat Last of Us Part 2, I just decided to install Nathan Drake Collection, and I just went and just played the Uncharted games like literally back to back. Like right when I beat 1, I just booted up 2 and played it right then and there.
And these are replays for you. They're some of your favorite games.
Oh
ever.
yeah, I love the Uncharted games. Ryan hates them, but
I never said I hated them. I don't like 1, and I think the other 2 are like super overrated.
no one
but-
really likes 1. I mean,
Yeah.
people like 1, but mostly because either they played it when it first came out, or it's just because like Uncharted is just a likable franchise, so they'll
they-
play it and they'll
Yeah.
be like, yeah, I still like these
They
characters.
like one because they like Elena.
Yeah. Like I don't dislike any of them. I'll say that much. I think they're.
What's
Ryan
your
fucking
problem with
hates
them?
them, and he won't. Now he's embarrassed to admit it because other
Oh.
people are listening.
I never said I hated them. I don't like the combat that much. I think it's fucking boring for the most
Here's the-
part. But
As I replayed it, I realized I'm way better at the games now than when I first played them.
Well, they also play differently on PS4.
Yeah, they probably do.
you get to play
Well,
with
I know
a
one
good
thing-
controller on the PS4.
Well, I say one thing that they
But like,
pointed out.
I'm talking like mechanics also. I don't just mean just like how the buttons feel and all that.
Because the only reason I said that is a while ago, Donkey mentioned this in one of his videos, but they added something in the I'm gonna say it wrong, whatever it is. They added something in the PS4 version where when you duck and like come out, your gun like moves a little bit, like your reticle moves a little bit more towards them, like
Yeah.
some kind
Aim
of aim.
assist?
Oh, it's like aim assist. Yeah.
Yeah, but yeah, whatever it is, he was like, this makes it so much more fluid. You don't get like lost in shootouts like you did in the PS3 versions.
Yeah, okay. Ryan, you played it on PS4, right? You played through the games your first time on PS4, right?
Yep.
Okay, so
Which I think marathoning them was a mistake for me. Honestly, I think that's part of the reason where I was just like burnt out.
you're burnt out.
Yeah, it was like
'Cause-
halfway through 2, I was just like, I'm still playing.
The
this
thing
already.
is, like, I think
it's not that different.
it's not that different, but they do like not only like tweak things to make them better, but like they do add some stuff. Like
Well, yeah, I'm
the
just
first
saying,
game is like going back to the first game. Oh my god, it's the most bare bones thing. You can choose between like 2 guns almost the whole game, either the AK-47 or the shotgun, and then you have either a semi-auto pistol or just a Uzi, and it's like that's your only options like the whole time.
Bro,
What?
a Uzi.
What? How was I?
Uzi.
Getting my Uzi.
All
It's
right,
an Uzi, right?
Yeah, it's Uzi.
Uzi.
fellas, I brought my Uzi.
My favorite rapper's name is Little Uzi Vert.
I can mute all you guys. I have the power to do that. Anyway.
Yeah, so you can just say stupid shit by yourself.
Yeah, you can
With
say
no one to
Uzi, and then the
correct
entire
you.
audience can laugh at you.
Okay. Anyway, this
Well-
podcast was a mistake. Anyway, oh shit.
Parker
Oh,
had the fear, but Brian is acting on it.
Anyway, but like, there's like barely any weapons to choose from in the first game. If you decide to do melee combat in the first game, that's like a death sentence.
I almost forgot there was melee combat.
No, yeah, like no, because you shouldn't do it. Because when you do it, you're like stuck in a chain where you're just mashing square, or you can do the brutal combo where it's square, triangle, square. But I don't know why. But like, I couldn't do that sometimes. I probably because I was accidentally mashing.
When I
But
played that game, I used so much melee combat because it was the first shooter I had ever played, and I was bad at it.
oh man,
So I often
what difficulty did you play on?
normal.
Oh my god.
But
How many
I-
times did you die?
Many, dude. I don't remember why I did it. I don't know if I ran out of ammo and was like, time to run, or if I just got frustrated and was like, I'm gonna punch them.
No, like the melee in the first game, like it's there, but it sucks. Like it's like you can't do anything. 2 is slightly better because it's first of all more engaging because every now and then they'll like do something where you have to counter, so you have to press triangle every now and then. But it's also just happens quicker, so it's not as much of a death sentence as it is in the first game, where like my number one advice for anyone playing the first game for the first time is like just don't melee people, only use guns. And the second one, like, the second one adds stealth. There's like there is technically stealth in the first game, but there's literally like no instances where they let you use stealth. You kind of have to just get lucky. In the second game, there's like clearly places where they're like, please. The second level is literally just you doing a heist, and you cannot use guns, so you have to use stealth.
Ugh.
But what?
The best kind of level.
I mean, at that level is like infamous for being like no one likes it. It's like too early in the game to introduce a level like that.
No one ever likes a forced stealth level.
I was just saying, is there ever an example
been a
of
game.
stealth done well in a game that isn't a stealth game? Like
if I want-
like Metal Gear Solid and Splinter Cell, like those are good games, but
But they're made for stealth. Yeah.
is there any example of a game who's just like, we're gonna throw in a stealth mission? Is it also like
Well, stealth gets
Games
better.
that have optional stealth, I like that a lot. Like Far Cry, where you can just like pick people off. Of
Oh
base
yeah,
and stuff.
Far
No,
Cry
yeah, I mean,
has
that's
great
really- like,
stealth.
the-
Far Cry
like-
has great stealth.
survival horror games can be played like.
Yeah, it's like if
Like, whatever,
Doom was
and-
like, hey,
Oh my
call your
God,
guns away,
if
hide
Doom
from
had
these demons
stealth
for a bit.
stuff, that
But
would
what I'm
suck.
saying, what I'm specifically saying is a game that out of nowhere forces you to stealth a bit. Is there ever been a good example of that?
I none that I can think of.
'Cause it's-
I
I'm thinking-
think the problem is it's the same problem with like a water level or something, where it's like it's always changing the game in a way that it's like, this isn't what I signed up for.
Yo,
Yeah.
I didn't buy the game for this, and now you're making me do this, and it's like.
Well, the thing is,
mm,
in Uncharted, the stealth gets better every entry. So the second one is when they actually start to experiment with like, oh, let's put stealth sections in the game. But there's not a lot you can do. Just go in and cover, make sure they don't see you, press square. And every game, they like it gets better and better. Like in the fourth game, they introduce like tall grass that he can crouch in, and then you can actually like they have like a meter above their heads where you can, it slowly like fills up as they're like looking at you. And
forgot
when it
about
fill-
that.
Yeah, like the fourth game, like they make stealth into like a way bigger thing than it was in the earlier games.
They introduced
Stealth's not
tall
bad in the
grass
fourth game too,
that they
and it's always
catch Pokemon.
it's always an option. It's not like that one level in 2. So like you can go entire sections in 4 without shooting a gun, but it like I don't know, it just works better in 4. I didn't get there yet in terms of replaying them. Right now, literally today before coming here, I was playing Uncharted 3. And I always defended Uncharted 3 because literally whenever people bring up Uncharted 3, it's like the first thing everyone wants to say is, "Oh, it's not as good as 2." And I think
except
like,
me,
it's
where
not.
I was like, I
it's
like
not
it
as
more
good
than
as
2.
I don't like it as much as 2.
Here's the thing, like you can tell me that the story's not as good as 2, which to
Yes.
be after replaying 2, I'm like, holy shit, this is like really well written.
That's why
and
I
the
don't like
pacing is
3 as
really
much.
good.
'Cause the
Which
2
one
story's
ends
better.
with the boss fight where you're like running around a tree from the guy that just
That's
like
2.
insta kills you? Yeah, that sucked. Sorry, I'm just
Yeah.
like remembering that all of a sudden.
Here's the thing, I think they fixed the glitch in the original game, and I think they fixed it in the remaster.
What's the glitch?
There's a specific part at the end of Uncharted 2 when you're fighting Lazarevich, and the whole point of the fight is you have to shoot the blue sap that explodes to like damage him. But there's this one part where Nathan Drake can just hang on a ledge, and what happens is Lazarevich will go on top of the ledge and he'll try to shoot down at you, but he'll miss every time. And there just so happens to be 2 pieces of sap that will regenerate, and you can literally just glitch. I mean, not glitch the game, but you can like cheese it where you can just like hang around on the ledge and then just with your handgun shoot the sap whenever he's near, and then just run around a bit to wait for the sap to regenerate, then go back to hanging, and you'll never get hit. I think they fixed that because
I
I don't think they did because I remember doing that.
Oh, you remember doing that?
Because I
Then
was
maybe
like,
I just suck at
I
the game.
died at that fight a bunch of times, and I was like, is there some way I can cheese this?
Yeah, there
please?
is.
I was
And
gonna say,
looked it up.
I always think it's really lame when they fix bugs like that.
Oh, it's super lame. It's like
'Cause
Yeah.
it only makes sense in games that have some kind of competitive multiplayer or something where it's like the
You have
person
to balance
the
it, yeah.
person that's getting cheesed on is a real person. But if it's like a boss, like being able to like
it's like balancing single player stuff. where
yeah,
It's like, what are you
being
fucking
able
doing?
to like cheat without actually cheating,
Yeah.
like cheat
Yeah.
your way through boss fights is like cool. Like
It's
That's
like
how
it's like when they
speedruns
patched
work.
out.
That's like how like speedruns are built on that shit. You ever see the speedrun of Uncharted 1
oh my god.
where they beat
I've
the
seen
game
the
in
speedrun of Uncharted 2, and I think it's great.
I watched years ago on Games Done Quick.
I have seen it. I don't remember it that well, but I have seen it.
I just remember they beat a 12-hour game in 2 hours because there are sections where they can put Nate's back to the wall, and I think it was like hold aim.
You hold up, I think, and it lets
and then,
you like look
and then
around
they have
better.
to like flick the stick back and forth,
Yeah.
and he shimmies his way through the wall, and then he can. There is invisible climbable structures, so they just had to memorize where everything was because they're like, oh, we have to walk in a straight line here for this long. If we go too far, we'll die. They memorized like this invisible path, climb up, and as he climbs up, it says chapter 10 or whatever. Like the thing pops up, and it's like, oh, it's so funny. I love stuff like that, and I hate when, or just things like the Skyrim remaster patched out like putting a bucket on the guy's head, didn't it? And like
No,
being
it
able-
definitely it didn't do that because when our other friend was streaming it, he tried that and it totally worked.
Ah.
That they did patch out is there's a glitch. There's a side quest you can do where at the end of it there's this like book of power or whatever, I forget what it's called. And you read it and then you gain like a shit ton of XP and a couple certain skills. Like you can pick 3 like types of skills and then it just upgrades like all of that like category. There's a glitch with that was in the original game where you could get that book, take it to your house. It was this whole process you could do where you took the book, put it in a bookshelf, read it in the bookshelf, and then from the bookshelf put it in your inventory, because if you didn't do that, the book would disappear after you read it the first time. But if you just did this glitch to keep it around, you could just infinitely gain levels and everything and then max out your character.
Ah, nice.
I am like 99% certain they just removed the ability to do that in the remaster, and I'm like, what are you
That's
doing?
lame.
Fixing
What are
stuff
you
like
doing?
that, that's like in the Source engine when they updated it in like Half-Life 2, where you used to be able to do like crazy bunny hops, and then they were like, no. But then people figured out like, oh, we can just do back hops, and it's like faster than bunny hops were.
It's like, I don't get patching out fun. It's like, what are you doing? Like,
Yeah, that sucks.
I know when they put Ocarina of Time on the 3DS, they purposely left all of them in.
Yeah.
They were like, yeah, because there's one where you can like walk to the boss fight.
I know there's-
the final boss like really
I
early.
know there's some stuff where they change for the better of the game. I think SpongeBob SquarePants Battle for Bikini Bottom Rehydrated did this. I forget what it was, but there was like there was some glitch in the game that like players hated. It didn't even affect speedrunning. It was just something that like when you play the game normally, it was just something people fucking hated. And I think it amounted to like a one-hit kill. And everyone's just like, screw this is unfair. And then when they came out with Rehydrated, they like fixed it, so instead of a one-hit kill, you just sort of bounce back and you just get like one hit off your health. And
Oh yeah, that's obviously something.
and everyone like praised it. They're like, thank God.
because when it comes to when you're I say in a single player game, when you're patching things, you should only patch things that are a detriment to the player, not a detriment to the like anything
To
that any
funsies.
glitches that benefit the player are should be like left in.
Yeah. I would say as long as they're not like really hurting the intended experience and
Yeah,
are easy
yeah.
to do.
Like-
If they're easy to do accidentally, maybe patch them out.
If they're
If
they're-
it's something
because
like if you do this really simple combination, you can clone all your items or something. Like
if it's
like,
something where it's like
I'm not even saying like it's simple to do. I'm just saying if it's something that a player could reasonably accidentally do,
Yeah.
then I'm like,
and
I get
and
it.
if
'cause
you can
it's like,
reasonably accidentally do it, and it's something like you'll accidentally skip a section of the game,
yeah, exactly.
and
It's
like,
if
oh,
it's-
I just
Oh my
didn't
God,
get to see this enemy, or oh, this cutscene just didn't trigger because I skipped it. That's actually like fix
but,
that.
but a lot of that stuff is usually taken out because like if it's reasonable and easy to do, they should
well,
have
they
found
should
it
have
already.
bug
But
testing, yeah.
yeah.
Oh my god, I accidentally input the Konami code.
Yeah.
I did a little like a teeny tiny sequence break in Doom 2016 by accident where you remember the robots carrying the upgrades in that game,
yes.
and when a lot of time in the game you encounter them and they fly away to a location that like you see them, they fly away and you're
Yeah.
like, oh, you have to get them here.
Yeah.
I caught one before it flew away and it carried me with it.
That's funny.
And I went, oh, I literally skipped over an entire arena battle and went, well, I want to do the battle, so I'm going to go back and do it. But I got this upgrade like a couple minutes early.
Yeah.
Just use the upgrade when you do the battle.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
But sorry, we completely went off there. Uncharted. You have
Back to
anything more
Uncharted.
To say?
What was I even talking about with Uncharted?
I know. I was like, I had one more glitch thing, just because you were saying about like kind of skipping.
Say, because I don't
something.
even remember what I was saying about Uncharted. So.
Just in Blasphemous, I was telling you about it yesterday. Just tiny thing where I'm like, kind of surprised no one caught it. Where if you have like a jumping up attack in the game,
yeah.
and I guess it gives you like a little bit of height when you do it, because there's this item that you're clearly not supposed to be able to get until you get like another upgrade or something. And all I did was jump and do the attack, and then I noticed that the prompt to pick up the item showed up, so I just was like, did the up attack with the...
You
I know.
totally hit your mic.
I know. I did the up attack and then just hit the button to pick it up and just boop, teleported up to the thing and did the animation and picked it up. And I'm
Dude,
In the,
I've played so many games where I would cheese stuff like that.
In the
Yeah.
old Lego Star Wars games, you could do triple jumps by doing a double jump, then the air slash attack, and then at the peak of that, hit L and R to swap characters, and when you swap, you like went up.
Oh.
And that's all. Like you can get items super easy in that game.
You know what's
by
That
funny?
reminds me of the...
Devil May Cry has secret missions where they know that certain attacks keep you in the air. So there's secret missions where we'll give you this blue orb shard if you stay in the air for like 15
Well, yeah, 'cause
seconds.
one-
Devil May
3
Cry is
and
built
1.5.
around it. Like they expect you people.
Well, yeah,
to
because
do
in,
that.
in Devil May Cry there's enemy step. So
Yeah.
it's like, well, yeah, because that's...
Yeah, but I'm
it's,
saying like
intentional.
it's funny how like in a game like Devil May Cry would encourage that.
Yeah,
Instead
That's
of,
what
like-
makes that game good.
That's what makes
Yeah,
that game
that's why-
fun.
Because
all
that's
the-
a game that goes, hey, we're going to treat this like a video game and
My
not
favorite video game franchise.
like a movie or
Yeah.
something.
Yeah, so I was playing Uncharted 3, and I know, because we were talking about how like some people say like the only thing they want to say is that it's not as good as 2,
It's not.
and so far I'm like 5-6 chapters in, which is basically like you're in the sewer. I don't know if you guys remember, but you're basically like in a sewer system after following the car in, and you find the golden fleece. And they reference Lawrence of Arabia a shit ton. Oh no, I actually got to the chateau that burns down.
The what?
Oh, did I not say it right?
Chateau.
Chateau?
The what?
I said
Shit-toe.
chateau. I didn't say
Chateau.
shit toe.
What did you say, Brian?
Chateau?
Chateau.
Chateau.
Yeah.
You pronounce it like a chut instead of a shut. It's French, isn't it?
All right.
Chateau.
Let's stop making fun of the way I pronounce things.
Sorry. Not until next episode.
I got to that part where
Yeah.
the building burned down, and you're with Sully.
The building.
Building.
The chateau.
I'm getting all flustered now. Like,
He's
trying to remember
blushing.
like
He's-
what was the whole point of what I was trying to say. I
You
look
got
like
to
the biggest idiot.
You got to the chat.
This podcast for the last 2 hours was so easy to do because all I had to do was look at the lights on the pretty little monitor.
All right.
Brian's
Well,
like,
I
oh,
can
I
end
just
the
I just
Uncharted.
didn't listen to them talk about anime for 2 hours, and now I have to talk. I don't know what to do.
I can end the Uncharted.
No one
discussion.
interrupted you guys because of how you pronounce words
You interrupted him how many times?
Yeah.
with questions.
Well, yeah, your question's fine.
yeah.
You.
Brian, talk about Uncharted.
I can end it right now. I own 1, 2, and 3, and will never play them.
Why do you?
I
own
have
them?
watched people play them. Never gonna do it myself
It's a good idea. They suck.
Why? Why do you own them? That's what I want to know.
because
'Cause
I watched
he-
people play them as a
Chef-
kid, and I was
it's-
like, I want
No,
to
it's
own
because
I own
Chef
lots
owns
of-
at least one
You
game.
literally talked over his answer, Parker.
Sorry.
what I was seeing. What did I say? Fuck.
Because you saw people play
Some
him as
people
a
playing
kid.
him as a kid and were like, oh, they're cool, I want to get them, and then bought them. I think that's what you said anyway.
That is exactly what I said. Ryan knows me so well.
Yeah.
What I was gonna say is that Chef owns at least one game for each of his friends that they want him to play really badly, and he never will. So Uncharted is yours, Brian.
I never asked him to play
No,
it.
DMC5.
Wait,
Yeah.
you own it?
Yeah,
You never told me that.
Yeah,
I own it. I own that. Yakuza 0, Undertale,
Yeah.
Resident Evil 1
and
remake
4
and
now.
4.
Yeah.
That's so
For
funny
Jordan,
that you own.
I
Devil May
played
Cry
half
5.
of Prey
I'm never playing Black Mesa, Chef.
Why'd you buy Devil
Fuck.
May Cry 5?
because I was like,
So he
you know,
can
my
hold it over
friends-
your head.
My friends play this. Maybe I'll play it one day. It's on the
It's
list.
very good.
All right. And you don't care about playing the others?
No. Why would I care?
Oh,
3's really
because
good.
they're fun. Yeah,
Five's the best
three's
one.
really good.
I don't
Five
five
is the best.
Five
one.
is the best one, and I don't give a shit about like.
No,
Like,
actually,
if
hold
he
on,
doesn't
hold on,
care
hold
about
on,
the
hold
first
on.
couple, then he doesn't have to. Dude, I skipped the first one.
You
I
did?
only-
I didn't even know that.
Yeah,
I'm gonna play-
I've tried playing the first one a couple times. I don't like it, so I just played 3,
Oh.
4, and 5.
I'm
It's
gonna
a shame
play
that you
Devil May
have
Cry
bad
5,
taste.
and then play DMC Devil May Cry.
Oh, that's
Oh my
And then-
god, I'm gonna
that's it.
slap you in the
DMC2.
face. Wait,
DMC.
hold on. With Devil May Cry 3 on Switch, you get the
Style switching.
style switching and
yeah.
weapon switching. So that actually makes it like almost on par with
He doesn't
5.
know what
I don't
that
know
is.
what that means.
I was gonna say.
Yeah, I know.
well,
I was like, you're.
He just knows this is like wacky woohoo pizza
Well,
man game.
if you let me
that's,
finish,
That's
I'll-
exactly why I bought it. I saw like the hat thing, and I was like, I guess.
the hat thing. I mean, it's the coolest part of the
Like
game.
Motorcycle weapon's cool.
Yeah.
Motorcycle
Oh my
hands.
god, everything's cool in that game.
Devil
Oh,
Strip Dawn.
Devil May Cry 5 is so
I
freaking
literally
cool.
the other day when
Me nut.
our friend that lives a bit away, his little brother was here. I'm pretty sure
Yeah.
you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
George.
Yeah,
Film-
George.
Just say Film Boy's little brother.
Yeah, Film Boy's little brother.
So we got creepy weeb friend and Film Boy.
Yeah, Film Boy's little brother. Literally, somehow we got in a conversation in DMC, and it was just me showing him clips from the game for like an hour, because I'm like, look at this cool shit. Look at it.
Look at this cool shit.
Look at this cool ass shit.
It's cool shit though. I love Devil May Cry.
I'm like, he stabs himself, and then he gets a sword. he becomes Big Devil.
he
Dante
turned into a
Big
devil
Devil.
and he's a thing. Anyway, so
So what else you been up to? Let's wrap this up. What?
Yeah, my mom's already yelling at me because we're loud.
Donna, come be
Thank
a
God I
guest.
turned you guys down then.
My mom.
Anyway, I don't know. We can save talking about Last of Us another day, I guess.
Yeah.
So I don't know. That's
it.
This whole week has been me. We watched Batman, and I've been playing Uncharted at home.
You listen
And
to some Yes albums.
Well, that was during work. I'm a pizza delivery driver, so I listen to music in my car. So like, I listen to so many albums.
Now you can listen to our podcast in your car.
Yeah, you can.
You can edit
Oh.
and drive at the same time.
No, I can listen to it and be like, I need to do better with this mixing crap. Anyway,
Yeah, I can't wait to find out that one of us is just muted the
We're
entire
gonna
time.
we're gonna listen to it, and it's just gonna be like.
This podcast
that's
is gonna be
it.
shit.
Hold on, that's exactly how it's gonna sound, and I'm gonna be so embarrassed when I put it in my computer for the first time.
I'm talking, and it's like ah.
There's one specific part where I think I even flat out said out loud, like, you guys need to calm down, because literally everyone was like laughing really
Yeah, yeah.
loudly at you, but people were like trying to like raise their voice to talk to someone like across the room, but they were like really up close to their mics when they were doing it, and I'm just like, oh no.
Brian's way
What's
of solving
wrong with that, Brian?
people screaming into their mics is to yell into his mic.
I didn't yell on my mic.
No.
No, I looked at the meter on my mic and it was fine. So
So
Brian
is
looked
there,
at all
I
of our
s-
meters and got really red and went.
is there a
no one knows.
No
what
one
you
knows
did.
what the
no one knows
imagine.
audio
They
medium?
just-
Chef
they just
flapped
heard,
his
like-
arms really hard.
Chef
No,
flapped
don't
his
laugh,
arms like a
Brian.
bird, and no
Okay.
one will be able to see how majestic he looked.
Okay. Is there anything else you want to talk about, Brian, or should we wrap this mess up?
Yeah, this is over 2 hours now.
That was not an answer to my question at all.
Well, we were
I
only gonna go
said
for
yes.
2 hours, so
I didn't know that.
we talked about this.
I don't listen when people talk to me,
Why do you have a podcast? What?
so I can talk and people can listen to me.
Oh my god.
That was a joke. I actually just don't remember you saying that.
Was it a joke?
There it is.
Stop.
Hey viewers,
Okay,
or
okay.
Covered it up.
listeners at home.
What do you think? I'm distracted by it?
Okay.
Listeners at home.
Brian, let's end it here.
I'm putting my
No.
fingers in the
No,
couch
stop.
pussy.
End it there.
No one
Go for a
knows what
three-knuckler.
he's saying. No one knows what he's saying.
Can you end
My
it with-
couch has a little slit in
I'm
it.
putting my fingers in the couch pussy.
Stop.
He's going for a double knuckler there.
No, stop. Brian, stop the podcast now.
Oh my
Please
God, the
stop.
couch
All right,
Shit.
thanks for listening to
Shivering.
episode 1 of SneetCast. We know it was really bad, but thanks for listening anyway.
Dicktwist.
I applaud anyone that listens
Dicktwist
to
in
all
the
2
couch
hours of
pussy.
this goddamn thing. Anyway, bye.
Bye.